What is going on, everybody? It is episode 300 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I'm here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. I know you're not used to me sitting here without my backdrop, but you will find out why very soon. And today we are joined, firstly, by Kellen.
What's up? It's Kellen.
Thank you for being here.
How you doing today?
Good.
And also joining us from across the room behind where Mary normally sits is our good friend Serge. Introduce yourself from a distance. Say hello. And why are you over there? Can you tell everyone?
You guys gave us 10 parties, right? 10 crisis parties, I think it's called.
Yes. And you committed to going bald.
Yes.
Correct.
So
yes.
We are going to do this right now. Should we just get it started? Ready? Wesley, are you ready? Go for it. Here we go.
Gosh.
Oh no.
This is the best way to start.
Start like right here.
We can put this into a 4-person shot too to see if we can do this.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh yeah. We can all be sitting here. Isn't this perfect?
Start from the bottom right here.
Oh my god.
This is definitely your first time.
That's what she said. 100%.
Like, I knew he was gonna do it, but it
Be
didn't
gentle,
feel real
will you?
until now.
Be gentle.
Try and keep it all in one motion, my dude.
Play some music. Mary, do you want to sing? Can you sing? Can anybody here sing?
We don't need anything else. But
Should we just do like the intro to the show
Yeah.
while they do this?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we got a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about today. We're just going to leave him on in the background as I do this intro today. We are going to be talking about Disney. Disney has, in fact, lost 2.4 million subscribers on Disney Plus, and very large cuts are coming to Disney right now, per Bob Iger. We're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about Ava Green and the weirdo journalists who are simping for Ava Green because she decided to call a bunch of the lowly peons, is basically what she's saying. She called them peasants, the people working on her movie sets. She called them mean names, and for some reason, journalists are like, she's awesome for doing this.
she called them shitty peasants.
Isn't
Word
that
for word.
Insane.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jeremy Clarkson is actually being investigated by an independent branch of the British government for daring to question Her Highness Meghan Markle, who's not Her Highness because she's not royalty anymore, right?
Not a princess.
Not a princess anymore. We are also going to get a little bit into the AI discussion, the debate, because David Guetta...
That's the first crisis party. Whoa, big super chat.
Wow.
And guys,
This is another new one. Oh my god.
guys, I am sticking to my word, by the way. It's going to be helium super chats for anything
yes.
over $10. Unless I feel like I'm going to die, then I will stop. But that is my promise.
It's okay.
Oh,
We've
you're
got,
looking good so far, dude.
Guys, if we get 20 super parties,
Dude.
or crisis parties, Kellen's gonna cut his hair too.
What do you say, Kellen?
I don't know. I have to think about that. He had like 2 weeks
Hey,
to
you
think about it.
pressured me last
Like a
time,
little-
and then I said, okay, I'll make it legit, and now you're laughing because you think it's funny, but it's gonna happen to you. It can
We'll
happen to
see.
you.
It looks good. It's looking good.
You pressured me last time, guys. So let's say 20 super. If you get 20 super, what do you call them? Crisis parties.
Slumber parties.
20
Slumber
crisis
parties. Slumber parties is when it's so boring that everyone falls asleep.
Right.
Wait,
Well, 20 crisis parties,
parties?
and Kellen will cut his hair too.
Oh, no.
I'm putting that right now. In the
Are you
chat.
committing
20
to that,
20 crisis
Kellen?
parties.
We'll
He is.
see.
He just
We'll
committed.
see.
20.
He just
But
committed.
you gotta say yes or no.
no,
It's
no,
up
no.
to you.
You can't put me on blast
it's
like
up,
that.
It's up to you. You can say
He
no.
got like a whole 2
Yep.
weeks to digest.
Emotionally
Oh, come on,
prepare.
man. I've been working.
I like his little
working
strand of
really
hair.
hard.
It's still left.
It's the best haircut. This is the best haircut I've ever had. Kellen's gonna cut his hair. It's gonna look fantastic. He has the best haircuts. Kellen's gonna look
He's
great.
the best. He's the best barber.
All right, so we're
Oh
not
my
just going to
God.
do that. We're not just shaving Serge's head and possibly Kellen's head.
Oh
if
my
he
God.
commits to it. We are also so we're talking about David Guetta. Excuse me, David Guetta. He used an AI program to copy Eminem's voice for a song. There's actually a really interesting clip of him playing it live, and it feels very boomerish because I don't think he realizes the debate he's starting because he's like he just stole someone's voice. and like used it for a song, and he should know better than anyone because he's in the music industry.
Did
that you
Eminem
don't.
give consent?
No, yeah. Well, we're big on consent here. We're big on consent here.
Wait, but
While we pressure Kellen into also
what's the
going
difference
bald.
between sampling
Yeah.
and stealing?
Right.
Yeah.
starting with this?
That's
No, I'm just.
No,
it's-
no, no,
It's
I'm
just
just-
the big question
it's
that
just
everyone should be
I'm just
asking
getting the show
themselves.
started, giving the topics for everything today.
We're not
Okay.
actually starting yet.
Jacob Edler has again. So we're gonna have to do multiple like manual crisis parties because every time they do the over.
Right. We
yeah,
got
so-
a $300 super chat
Yep.
twice now.
Oh my god.
So we're gonna have to set off more crisis parties.
manually, which I can do.
Someone said Mary has to get a tan at 10 parties.
Is that even possible?
Oh, that would be
It's
cool.
not possible. We don't have the technology.
Go to like a tanning salon. We'll look at one that like Trump
Give myself
recommends.
cancer.
Just once, just one time. Come on.
I would look like awful with a tan. I would look even scarier than I do now.
Just do the neck up.
You have no idea how much fun I have making these.
My money
you
gun
make
is
them?
gonna
I
run
make
out.
yeah,
in
it's
a
like,
sec.
it's my favorite part of my job now. I get up on Saturdays and I go, and I'm like, how can I scare everyone today? It's going to be amazing.
How's
So-
it going over there?
You doing good over there, bud? Doing
yeah,
good?
it's fine. Yeah,
Look,
it's fine.
looks
Wesley,
fantastic.
are we close to?
You need
We're
some
getting there.
baby
The end?
powder too to like massage his scalp.
You're next, bro.
No.
No?
Well,
No?
I don't know, man.
You got to commit to it.
I can't-
It's
I don't-
not. It's not fair to ask. The
I'm a
audience
fence
if
sitter,
they-
man.
Well, we work here. It happens. All right, we got. But I think we should just start with cringe of the day. Let's
Yeah,
just go
that's-
into cringe of the
that's a
day.
healthy place
Is
to
this,
start.
is this not already? the
No,
cringe
this
of
is
the-
not
No,
cringe of the
I-
day.
I'm
Look,
having
he's
a
still,
great time.
still in the shot for cringe of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, Disney Plus Star Wars leans toward exploring Luke Skywalker's
Of course.
LGBTQ identity. I don't know what that means because he's not gay, but
I
it's
don't either.
Disney, so it doesn't really matter. But my favorite part, let's read through some of this because
I mean,
it's
he's
really
something
funny.
because he did have like a pretty weird
Yeah.
romance with his sister.
So
Well,
it
that
says
means he's incestuous, not gay.
Maybe that's part of the.
Is that the I in
That's the
LGBTQIA+?
plus. No, it's the plus.
That's the plus?
Yeah.
I think I stands
Oh,
for
no.
intersex. So it says one character that has been the focus of discussions about LGBTQ plus representation is Luke Skywalker. In 2022, a short story was published in Stories of the Jedi and Sith, in which Luke Skywalker was depicted as being attracted to a man. This story is now part of Disney's Star Wars canon, and there's nothing that progressive activists love more than to be able to say, "Look at us dunking on the chuds. It's canon now," and then they love to use the word canonical because they think it sounds cool.
In what world were Star Wars fans ever chuds, by the way?
Yeah.
Or what does that even mean?
It is an acronym. I forget what it was. Let me look it up.
I haven't heard of that before.
We literally broke the crisis meter. I have to log back in. That's how it went.
Really?
Yeah.
God,
Oh.
There it
broke-
goes.
Oh, it's like all dim.
No, it's coming back. Now we're back. We're back now, ladies and gentlemen. You guys literally broke the crisis meter, so that is very good. That is very good. Wow. So, oh, there it is again.
Nice.
Okay, chud means cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Yeah. It's a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think they're real? Tonight.
Luke Skywalker is gay. Take that, you incels.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's take that, you incels. And then they wonder why the first topic that we're doing today is about Disney struggling to pay back their debts and why they're going into debt.
As far as any serious Star Wars fan is concerned, none of the new content that is on Disney Plus is canon anyway, so
Yeah.
might as well just not pay attention to what they're doing.
It's all low stakes too. That's what like lost me. I used to be the biggest Star Wars fan growing up.
Doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter. It's low stakes. Like I'd even argue that Marvel has more going for it right now than the current Star Wars content.
Oh yeah,
they're
Marvel's an
I
infinitely.
think I need to refill my
Yeah,
money.
go ahead. Go ahead. We're good.
Fill it up.
Okay.
All right, guys. So that is cringe of the day. Also, Mary, you're the one who showed me this. They are doing Kanye West on South Park.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw
Again?
the preview for this.
He said
is
who is
it
they,
in
though?
the article?
Who is they though? Yes.
Who
it
is
says-
they?
Wait. They're doing them again?
It says as Kanye. Oh, I'll pull it up here. So we got this trailer. It says South Park. Clyde and Scott pitched their movie idea to Kyle in the season 26 premiere stars. I don't know if we can show the clip because it might be copyrighted. But yeah, they're gonna do where Kanye gains a ton of traction with his stuff on Alex Jones.
Do you think they're gonna bring back the fish sticks joke?
Probably. That'd be good.
That was a big one.
They could do it. They could do it better than Velma.
I heard that they were going to reference the IRL episode and have him like do the "Who is they" though.
Perfect.
You're being for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that
I haven't seen the clip.
would be insane.
So, and it also says Kanye West. There it is again.
Oh man.
So it says it's going to be very hard to talk when we're getting Sparta all the time.
Do you just crank it
This
as
is
loud
a
as you
chaotic
can?
show already.
So, we knew it was going to be chaotic.
I know.
When Serge, when you're ready to sit in, we will move you back here to your chair. To your. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Love that he kept the beard and everything.
Wow.
He's like, you guys can't pay me enough to change the shirt.
Should we start super chats? Or?
Let's just start super chats.
Okay, then I'm gonna move back to my
your chair.
my
All right.
place.
I really hope that South Park does recreate the IRL episode
That would be
because that would be fantastic just to see them animate the IRL studio.
There's a little Timcast sign back there.
Yeah,
It's
it'd
gonna
be
be great.
so great. It'd
It'd
be
be
so
great.
funny.
All right, Mary. So the goal here is that we're not going to let you get hurt from reading super chats with helium.
I fear that that's what the audience wants.
Probably.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready to get started? Do we have to just cut a balloon?
If you start dying, Mary, I can take some helium.
Are you going
take
to
over.
inherit my super chats?
If you die.
In my will.
If you die from the helium, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Wait, so are you able to tell which crisis party this one's for?
No, we're on 8 now. You can see it on the screen. We haven't even started any of the topics yet. The show will hopefully go more normally once we actually get started. But Mary, would you like to start reading some super chats?
I just have to untie this balloon
Okay.
first.
You might have to just cut it with the scissors.
Well, I don't want it to just immediately run out. I
Yeah.
have to hold it.
All right.
Where you stretch it, just like bite where you're stretching it.
Yeah.
We could have workshopped this beforehand, but it doesn't really work.
Well,
This is like the temptation while you're watching someone try to pop a balloon.
Yes.
that would take away
Yeah.
from the free-spirited nature of
Oh
it.
yeah, IRL last night was on the fly. They ran on the fly.
Yeah.
Try to-
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely something. The more you do, the better you get at it. But it's just like you prepare for the worst.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
Got it?
But there's always something
Okay,
that comes
okay.
up, you know.
Good. All right, let us get started, shall we, Mary?
I'm really worried that this is gonna run out immediately. Pat my head and pinch
Oh,
my
you gotta
cheek.
do more.
Wait,
do
no.
more.
You gotta do way more.
Well, you got the top.
Dumbledore said, pat my head and pinch my cheek. Dress me in a furry hat. That app, I'm not reading that. Happy 300. There isn't a $15 option. It goes from 10 to 20. Maybe choose volume over money. Yeah, what was the rest of it?
I think
That's
that was the rest of it.
And then the next one.
From Potatoes for Seamus.
All right. I need to refill my money gun as well.
Yep.
This is a lot. Okay. Potatoes for Seamus? No?
More.
Working?
More.
I'm gonna actually die.
You'll be all right. I feel like it's gonna pop.
Potatoes for Seamus said, Brett, don't do that. Kellen, stop staring at me. Serge, be potatoes. Friend, Brett, you're gonna be fine today. Do I have to make
No,
sure
you can finish it. I
Don't
think,
let the gaslighting get to you. By the way, it's Monday, and Lauren Bieber said that she will be your Valentine's.
Is Lauren
No.
Bieber like? Is that like?
Did she say that?
That would
Can
be
we
good.
fact check that?
Also, is that Lauren Boebert's like relative who's related to Justin Bieber now?
No, but I do want to get like one of those face mashing apps and get Justin Bieber's face and Lauren Boebert's face now
Yeah.
and see what kind of creation it makes.
All right, go for it.
True D Jones said, happy episode 300 PCC crew.
Thank you, Trudy Jones.
Thank you.
And that was a huge super chat, so thank you very much.
We'll just read the next two normal.
All right. BMF Nate Dog said happy 300.
Thank you so
Potatoes
much.
for Seamus said, Serge, I want your hair. I mean, wait, what? I was saying, like, we
dude, you're
should just
looking
sell
good.
a lock of your hair.
We did save it, so I'm gonna ask Tim what he wants to do about it. We're giving out a lot of stuff on the IRL podcast.
gross.
so-
Yeah.
You're looking
Yeah.
good, dude.
Giveaway
Thank you.
time.
It's not the first time. I will be honest. It happened quite a few times. I wanted to post some stuff that I'd posted on Facebook about me cutting my hair off. But
You can
anyways,
drop the chair a little bit to get
Okay.
you back in the show.
Well, it was also like I remember we were working one night and you're like, "Oh man, I'm just gonna cut all my hair off."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've
"Wait,
done it many times before.
wait."
This
And then
was your excuse.
then I made a.
Got to keep the chops though.
Remember, Mary, you are good to like if you feel lightheaded.
Yeah.
Oh my
We're gonna
goodness.
do our best here.
Now this half fits now.
Oh, that's a cool one.
This is small. So ridiculous.
Next is from SS. Says I'm not reading that, but we need to hear it in that voice.
I'm not reading that.
Actually, I should probably take this off for the show so
Okay.
you can see.
Yes. All right. Next is
Nice.
from RS.
Next.
Happy 300th episode. Here's for 300 more.
Thank you.
Eh.
And Caper2X said 15 PCC parties, and they joined the Marines. Make
Yes.
mine Marvel.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
I don't know.
One more.
I'm
and
not
then,
cut out for that.
One more, and then we will move on,
Yes.
and we will start the show. We'll start the show.
Nice.
Okay, this is from Jacob Edler.
Yeah.
Let me just.
Keep up the great work, PCC. You keep my afternoons fresh, and I can't wait for the show to continue growing and improving.
Nice. Thank you.
That
Hold
one
on.
it needs it. Yep.
Hold on. Okay, the last part we need to get on camera.
It needs the voice.
Wokesville.
Aw.
Fuck.
It's all right.
All right. Let me get the next
Next
one
one.
out.
We'll save it. We'll turn it down.
You
Yeah.
want to save it?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry to make you do
Kellen,
that.
talk.
Just a touch.
So Serge, how do you feel? Does it feel breezy?
I've done it before. It feels nice. It's actually really, really refreshing, honestly. I'm a fan.
Are you gonna keep it like all one length, or are you gonna get it touched up, get a fade or something?
What? Yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much.
I think you should get a fade, bro.
A fade, huh? Maybe.
And then you should carve Timcast IRL
Into the side.
into
yeah.
the side. Yeah.
It's a good idea, actually.
Timcast.
All right. We're gonna hold on, Mary. We'll hold on,
Okay.
and we'll just start the next topic, and we'll finish that one when we get back to it.
All right.
All right, guys, we're going to start the show. We're finally getting started today. It's going to be a bit of a haphazard affair today, given that everything is out of sorts. So Disney Plus lost 2.4 million subscribers in just Q1 this year, which is absolutely bonkers. Bob Iger basically did a whole thing where he's talking about they need to curate their content better. And number one, last one,
Darn.
it's on the ceiling.
Nice.
Oh.
This show
This
is
is gonna
just
be this
not
whole
gonna
show.
be
Like,
a
I don't
show.
even know if there'll be segments because everyone's gonna be like, "What the?" Like,
great.
imagine you like
There
tune
is
into
so
this.
much money on the
Like-
table right now.
Like, imagine like trying to watch this as a cut up segment tomorrow, and people are gonna be like, "What the hell is going on?"
This one
No,
work?
just-
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they lost 2.4 million subscribers, and Bob Iger says that they have to have better plans to curate their content and cut costs. The number one thing they're talking about is reducing costs for like TV and movies, but like the TV shows already kind of look cheap. Like we watched Obi-Wan. I
Right.
watched some of Andor. Like a lot of the Disney Plus shows, whether we're talking Marvel or Disney, already look like they have lower budgets. Like Miss Marvel looked like it was filmed like a bunch of bottle episodes that were all done in like minimal locations to
Yeah.
minimize
Yeah.
costs. Like I don't know
And you
how
would
they
think
plan to do this.
They would splurge on
Yeah.
special effects for Star Wars content, but
Nope.
they don't
Well-
because the content they make for Star Wars is an insult.
That's
to
what was so insane to me
original.
is the whole when the She-Hulk controversy was like really in the news. Is there's that twerking scene,
Yeah.
and it's like okay, so
What
it's one
scene?
thing the
I
twerking
didn't see
scene of
Miss
She-Hulk.
Marvel.
No, She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she was
Okay.
twerking, and it's like it's one thing to dislike it because you're like, okay, I'm trying to watch a superhero movie, not lewd dancing. But another thing is because the CGI was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, this looks worse than stuff that came out 10 years ago.
Do you remember how much Zaslav was looking to cut at Warner Brothers? It was like $3 billion or something like that. Like Disney's cutting $5.5 billion.
Wow.
Like, how?
But then they just announced this slew of cheap, shitty sequels.
I mean, maybe
for
not cheap.
Zootopia,
The-
Frozen,
Yeah. So
Toy Story again.
Well, it's what works. Those are their most successful projects in recent memory when it comes to like really like actual children's movie.
but you know that
Frozen
they're going to
was
ruin the
huge.
franchises.
Yeah, but they don't
as soon as they
care.
make a new one.
They don't care. They're in the business of,
comparison to Universal DreamWorks movies, they're awful.
They're in the business of waving the shiny object in front of your face and then moving on to and then moving it.
Ask yourself if they've like learned anything from the
Yeah.
experience of Lightyear failing.
That's
I
the
don't
number
think
one
they
thing.
have.
Maybe it won't. They won't try to make it super woke, but they probably will.
No, they will. They always will because we're
Always.
in the post-profit age. So they're gonna make an actual sequel in Toy Story, the Toy Story series, even worse than a prequel. And
That nobody wanted and nobody watched.
I mean,
That
next
made no
I
money.
thought they were going to do a Bo Peep
A
sequel.
solo movie? Yeah, that
Yeah,
would
a
be
Bo Peep a solo movie.
Yep.
Like girl bossing little Bo Peep.
So it says in the U.S. and Canada, the U.S. Disney Plus gained 200,000 subs to reach 46.6 million. Hulu gained 800,000 in the quarter to stand at 48 million. I've also heard that they're eventually planning at one point to merge those two, so where Hulu and Disney Plus are the same. I do not want that
I
at
do.
all. No.
That's a ton of content.
But I don't want Disney Plus. I want just Hulu. I don't care about
Well,
Disney.
if it's
well,
not going to
sure.
cost
Yeah.
more for
Well,
you.
you know,
it'll cost more.
Disney
the
has,
price will
but
go up.
Disney has some Nat Geo stuff that I like.
Okay, like what?
Just docu-series and stuff
have
about
a lot
like
of
Egypt
nature
and stuff,
stuff.
nature stuff. So
Yeah.
that stuff I do enjoy, and it'd be nice too because it is a ton of content under one.
You just want to see it all
price.
under one umbrella.
Yeah, could it be cheaper?
See, I don't know if
Yeah.
the price will go up though. It may not go up double, but it'll like so if it's 15, it'll go up to 25 rather than 30,
Right.
or something like that.
Right.
I have no interest in it. So we've got that, and also yes, do any of these interest you? Toy Story 4 was better than it had any right to be. So there's really no reason.
I don't remember
to
it
make-
super well, but I know I've watched
there-
it multiple times.
There's no reason to. I never even saw Zootopia, and
Zootopia 2 is going to be a huge moment for furries in this country. Like the amount of like erotica fan fiction that
Yeah.
furries are about to make from Zootopia 2 content is crazy.
a lot.
I don't want to give them any more fuel.
So if the goal here is to keep making the woke content, which is what you were saying, and I hate that word, but like this is what I think about. They're cutting all these jobs. They're not making any money. The actual question here is like, what is like the weird progressive utopian end goal? And it kind of came to me. I said, you know what it would be? The dream to Disney would be if one day the government just subsidized Disney Plus and everyone had it per the government. One day you will have a food stamp card.
Universal basic
Yeah.
entertainment.
Like one day you'll have a food stamp card and it will just come with Disney Plus on it.
and here is your intellectual gruel.
No, and it's completely plausible. Did you know?
No,
that
no,
if
I like it. I like
Did you
it.
know that if you have if you're on food stamps, you can get half off an Amazon Prime membership?
No way.
Well,
Yeah.
well, here's
Yeah.
what they'll do then.
Since when?
Yeah.
In
Oh, yeah.
every state?
I don't know
Like,
about in Minnesota. It was an option.
They're gonna give you
my
exclusive
God.
access to like the main channel. So let's say it's NBC.
No,
they'll be like,
you'll get ad tier content.
they're gonna
with
say,
your, with
yeah,
your-
you'll get ad tier content, but you get it every night between 6 and 8 p.m. right? And that's the time slot that you get because you know they're so good and they're giving you the stuff that you need, and then you're gonna watch it. And they know you're watching it. They know all the food stamps people are watching it, and that's where they get you. That's where
I'm
they
just, like-
brainwash you.
Like, it literally just feels like something like that would be Disney's end goal would be to one day just have the government and Disney become a one world entity. Like, we just saw the thing
is
recently.
Bob Iger the Antichrist?
Was it? I think it was The Simpsons or Family Guy, where it was like Mickey Mouse was literally the president.
Yeah.
And he's just like the worst.
Well, like
It was
right
in,
now,
it was in that was in South Park where he
Was
was
it
like
South
this
Park?
evil character.
Yeah.
He's always been evil in South Park as like this. He's like a mob boss.
Well, he represents the Disney Corporation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all he really is. He's just
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
super violent CEO.
It's also funny because Reedy Creek, they're voting on Reedy Creek soon, and DeSantis is basically what he's doing is they're pitching a board there. So instead of a board appointed by Disney, it will be a board appointed and approved by Ron DeSantis, and it will keep its tourism status so the tax burden remains with Disney and doesn't become something that the taxpayers get stuck with. But Disney kind of taking L's here, and I can't think of it. Like, was there anything you really loved from last year from Disney? Like, I can't think of any. None of the movies were all that great. Like, I see people that are excited about Quantumania. I just don't care. Like, we're gonna go watch it, but I don't care about Quantumania. I saw a thing where
It's a movie.
Majors was talking about how Kang, like, he wants his version of Kang to be like on par with Heath Ledger's Joker, and I'm like, dude, no. Like, shoot for like good. Like, maybe don't set the bar so high for
don't
yourself.
say that out loud to the press.
Right, like, and use him as inspiration. But that's the whole point, is they're just trying to recreate what's been good before rather than using what was good before to make something even better.
That's why I'm like mourning the death of good children's entertainment. With these 3 sequels especially, it's so lifeless and soulless. Even the second Frozen movie sucked.
Yeah, nobody I know likes the second Frozen movie.
Right.
The other thing that's funny about this is Disney also echoed what Netflix was saying. And think about this. Disney lost more subscribers than Netflix lost on a smaller basis. But they also...
Netflix only lost like 200,000
in total. But what's funny is that... Yeah, but I think Netflix lost that in America, and that's why that was significant.
Okay.
Like that,
I think in North America.
But... both companies are saying the same thing. Ad tier is not making up the money they thought it was going to make.
Did you guys see that Netflix walked back their password sharing
password
stuff?
sharing stuff? Yeah, that's...
I saw that coming.
The fact that they said it was a mistake is so funny.
Look, there was a tech guy. He was at the office. He got drunk.
We were job training a chimp, and
that's what PayPal said the same thing.
Yeah.
Remember when people got mad at them for their like, we'll fine you if we don't like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that shouldn't have been there. I'm so embarrassed right now.
But it's not the only time that's happened. Do you remember when Disney made the changes to like content, like they did the censorship of like the violence in like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, and they're like, "Oh, that was an accident. We didn't mean to do that." I'm like, let me get this straight. You're telling me that you filmed, you recreated an entire scene with CGI, you changed it, and it just magically got uploaded onto your server somehow.
What they're thinking and what they're hoping for is that no one will care enough to notice.
Yeah.
But of course, when they do,
people are like,
what do you say?
People are autistic. That's what I love about it.
They can't admit that they made a mistake.
No, that's what I love about it. People are like
the
autistic about their entertainment.
The fans rewatch things over and over, and they know what is in the content they love, but we're not regarded as people with brains. We're regarded as cattle by these corporations, so they don't realize.
One time, I watched a version of an episode of Burn Notice that had dialogue that was different from the East Coast to the West Coast, and it screwed my life up for like 3 days until I could get home to like double check that I wasn't just imagining. I'm like, that's not what he said.
Well, they even change product placements based on region. Like international markets will get KFC product placement because that's an international chain.
Yep.
Well, it's also like on a smaller scale. You know, like I saw a map the other day. It was all the main grocery chains, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like some of these places just don't exist in certain parts of the world.
In regard to Toy Story 5, I am happy that Tim Allen is returning to the role, but at the same time, I feel like it's a bit of a concession. Like, they rejected him for Chris Evans just specifically to spite him.
Yeah.
Well,
and spite fans of his, and now they're bringing him back
have they ever made
as if it never happened.
Yeah. No, because because Lightyear technically doesn't exist.
I know
in
it's
the
the
same
real
universe.
person.
Well,
but
I was just gonna ask, have they ever why not make like a Woody movie instead of Toy Story 5?
They could
you
too.
know?
Tom Hanks makes like 9 movies a year these days.
they wouldn't make a Woody movie. They would have to make the Bo Peep movie.
What?
Yes.
You can't just make a solo movie about a white male.
It would
even
be-
though it's
a toy.
I know it's a toy, but it doesn't matter to them.
That doesn't matter.
And he looks kind of Polish, which is, you know, he's a person of color.
Hey, you leave us Polish people alone.
I mean, the
I'm
real
Polish
loss.
too. That's how I know.
The real loss
Us,
on
the people of
Lightyear
color.
is
Yeah.
not that Lightyear was woke, because obviously, like, the wokeness was very subdued and subtle, but still intentionally left there. It's just that it was low quality entertainment. Like, it just sucked. It didn't require that much thought or, Disney magic to make it. It had no soul, and that's why the kids watching it are gonna grow up soulless.
There is no Disney magic anymore. That is for sure.
No, I
Yeah.
agree with that. 100%.
Yeah. So
It's sad.
I think Tim Allen deserves better. Also, the flashing allegations are not proven.
no.
They're unfalsifiable.
Technically, the one where he flashed his like TV wife on camera is proven because it's actually on camera.
Well,
but she's
sure.
just not complaining about it. That was like also that's one of those things where Tim Allen he always ends up back in the news and they love to dunk on him because they know he's a conservative.
He's like not even a conservative. He's just like normal, and they regard anyone who is normal as a conservative.
He probably voted for Mitt Romney. Like
That's as far as I would
that.
go with
he
that.
probably likes Elizabeth what's her name? What was the shirt that Kevin Costner was wearing?
What?
Kevin Costner was wearing Kevin Costner was wearing like a shirt on the set of Yellowstone that said I'm a Liz Cheney guy, and like the top comment was like, it's bold of you to admit something like that. Like, why would you do that? But yeah, so he's probably like like an old school, like let's bomb kids in other countries and be evil like most old school Republicans were. So it is what it is. But actually, I don't know if that would even be true anymore because Hollywood has no problem with them. Hollywood loves it's kind of like those pictures, right? You see the pictures of Bush, Obama, and Clinton, and they're all buds. Like,
Meghan McCain is
Yeah.
allowed to be Meghan
Yeah.
McCain.
Yep.
And then Chris Pratt is allowed to be Chris Pratt as long as you cuck sufficiently to the media.
I was
when
just gonna
they-
say, yeah.
when they come for you. You know.
He I should have if I would have known. I thought I was gonna save the Tim Allen one till tomorrow, but I should have pulled up his mugshot with the amazing mustache he had when he got caught with like a bunch
It's like
of
your
cocaine.
favorite thing.
Oh my god.
It is. It's like I kind of want to get it framed like next to a picture of Wesley Snipes. Like get the Wesley Snipes picture from Blade and Tim Allen's mugshot. And maybe it's time. We've done 300 episodes now. Maybe it's time to like redecorate behind
There
it
you
know
go.
what?
with just like celebrity dope celebrity
That'd be cool.
mugshots.
Let's
be
go
cool.
though. Like Luke Skywalker is gay.
Yep.
And
Makes no sense.
Right, and every character that you once loved is
Velma.
gay, black, disabled, and trans.
Yep.
The Proud Family.
And keep going in that direction and see how that turns out for you, because I don't think audiences will be happy.
It's like a meme now,
I also forgot to.
Mature, right?
Yeah, you can't change anything. Oh, by the way, guys, this is kind of off topic, but there is a trailer out for Luther: Fallen Sun, which is really, really good. It doesn't actually feel like the show Luther, but it is good to go check out. It's going to be out on Netflix in March, so something worth check out. Let's, Mary, are you ready to get back to
Okay,
to
as long as
Super
I
Chats?
don't lose this balloon this time.
Let's work on it here. So we will allow her to cut that and get ready for Super Chat. So we are going to continue.
Okay, this time I have to be extra careful. If I still had sharp nails,
Yes.
I'd be able to puncture it, but I don't anymore. Okay.
Got it?
I don't want it to go flying. That's
That would be so
my
funny.
fear.
That would be very funny.
Starts knocking everything down.
All right, we're got it?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Oh, she's doing a big one this time.
Jacob Edler said, "No, it didn't take."
Got it?
Wokesville
There you go.
population U.
Whoa.
Lots of my kind said, for a second there, Serge looked like Razor Ramon.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
You're not Razor Ramon tall, but you're pretty tall.
Yeah, I'm like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
I don't know
Razor
what it
is like 6'5", 6'4", 6'5".
I think I'm like 6'1", not 6'2".
Woo.
Matt's S-Box Emporium said, "Will you condemn the chicken wire and Big Cluck?"
Oh,
Will we?
big cluck.
I can't read this one even though it's over 10, but Big Dave sent us $20.
Thank
no
you.
message.
Thanks,
Thank
Big
you.
Dave.
And Anthony Mollusky sent us $5 without a message.
Thank you, Anthony.
Again. Ty Groot said, "But will it run Crisis?" What? I don't know what that means. Glacia.
I think it's the game. Crisis, the game.
Did you ever play Time Crisis at like?
Oh, yeah.
at like the arcade.
Oh yeah, that's like the best version.
Incredible.
It's so
Like,
much fun.
that's like if I ever make it, I'm buying a Time Crisis for my house. one
Hopefully an
day.
expensive
fun.
trench coat too.
Yes.
Just to go hang out.
Like-
a trench coat, a nice little.
That's a
Dude.
game I wouldn't mind them remaking into like a modern title.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't want to
true.
play it with like a controller. I want to play it with the gun.
That's the best
whole
part
point.
about it.
Yeah.
Right. It's like not really Time Crisis.
Yeah,
It's
but you
gonna-
know, like they made those controllers. They made the gun controllers for at-home use, and it never.
never
There's
the
an
same.
amazing
not the
picture
same.
of a
I like
guy
it.
who turned a Glock, like a Glock 17, into the Nintendo gun.
No way.
Like with
Wow.
because he's got a suppressor on the end of it. So by the time
Oh,
it was done,
okay.
after the paint job, it looked like the gun from Duck Hunt.
I was gonna say.
Also, did you know that? Oh, somebody told me that you can shoot the ducks in the ground. Oh, what am I misunderstanding? It was like you can shoot the dog or you can shoot the ducks or something.
Oh,
like
in Duck
that.
Hunt?
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. And you
you're
can only
a
play it on the tube.
sociopath.
And you can only play it on a tube TV.
What?
Really?
Yeah, you can't play it on like
funny.
flat screen. It has to
Wow.
be played on a tube TV.
Wow.
know
Those are
that.
those are
I-
extremely valuable now for people that play older games.
I bought like a Duck Hunt because I collect vintage video games, and I bought Duck
Yeah.
Hunt and realized like very like sadly one day that I couldn't actually play it because I was playing it on a regular TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Glacia Iabolas sent us 20 Canadian dollars. Thank you.
It's very polite.
Wow.
It's a very polite $20.
Thank you. All right, this one is from Double Derp. Let me try to get.
Yep. Thank you.
Get a good one, Mary.
I am the very model. No,
More.
it's why isn't it working?
Gotta do more.
How big is the puncture
Do you have to
that you made?
Do you have to swallow it?
No.
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 No. Just inhale.
Big inhales. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
That's really good, man.
Somebody guessed it the other day.
Really, what it would be?
I am the very model. Why isn't it
A
working?
little bit more.
You have to inhale.
How much more could I possibly?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't Bill Clinton it. You gotta actually inhale.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't tell.
I am the very model. It's not working.
Mary, are you immune to helium for some reason?
Or it just happened.
I wonder if that's a thing. I wonder if over time helium just stops working. This is so
You got it.
ridiculous.
You can do it.
Was this a viewer idea? Or
I
was
am
it
the
your idea?
very model of a modern major general. I have information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical.
Nice.
That was impressive.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Don't
funny.
read the name either because it like wastes the helium. Read
Oh,
the name
man.
after.
Bald boys are the best boys, Mr.com. May I recommend Pitbull razors for a clean, even shave you can do yourself.
Very good.
Wow.
Also, you're getting it. You're nailing it all first try. I'd be doing what I do, which is like stumble
That
over my
one was
words.
from
a
Waffle
bunch.
Sensei. I
Yep.
need another one now.
Thanks, Waffles. What's up?
Hey, I like huffing helium, so if you ever want a break,
Huffing?
pass a balloon
They're
over
saying
here.
breathe deeper.
I'm trying. Okay.
We'll do a couple more and then we will move on.
Yeah. This is more time consuming than I thought.
Yeah, it's definitely time consuming.
Was this your
Careful with
was this
those
your idea,
scissors.
or was this a user idea?
Brett, have you ever watched Picket Fences from 1996 on Hulu? Weird show. Shows that liberals were always wrong about the slippery slope fallacy.
I haven't watched Picket Fences. I'll have to
man.
check it out. If it's on Hulu, I will check it out. I'm looking for something. I'm like, right now, I'm pivoting back and forth between episodes of Blood and Treasure, which is okay. I got a funny story. The other day, like, I read that, I gave that show like a high recommendation and said that it doesn't have a bunch of girl boss. I made a mistake because it did this thing where if you watch stuff on Paramount Plus, whoever the smooth brain morons over at Paramount Plus, if you watch a show and it's got multiple seasons, it starts you on the newest season. It doesn't put
Does
it back
it?
to season
You can't
one.
option it?
Because
Well, you-
people don't care if the story makes sense. They just sit there and turn their brains off.
So that's what I was doing. So I was watching thinking that I was watching the start of the show, but what I was actually watching was the first episode of season 2, and the first episode of season 2 was tolerable.
How long until you realized?
Halfway through.
Oh no!
About halfway through, because they were like referencing stuff. I'm like, okay, he said nothing about this earlier. What the hell is he talking about? So I'm like,
I thought you didn't care if shows made sense.
I mean, usually I don't, but like, so the point is, I went back and I started season 1, and the girl boss is so heavy in the first 2 episodes. She's so entitled, she's so snarky, and she's so annoying. It's a good thing she's smoking hot, but it doesn't matter because she's frustrating as all hell. Just
X
saying.
said
That's
crisis
hilarious.
meter should immediately say 6. Wow, Overlord DVD has been told to check email. Hope it works.
All right.
Thank you. Alex
The Overlord.
Guilfoy sent us $10 without a message.
Thank you. Let's read 2 more,
X-
and then we'll start after that.
Well, I got to finish this balloon, so
Okay.
we can't just stop. X said, ask about the spies.
Okay.
What?
What spies?
What spies?
What's-
Oh, me. Oh, where's she talking about? Probably talking about Kellen, huh?
Kellen's a spy?
What?
That's the rumor.
Okay. K for 2X said Leroy Jenkins. I'm about to read yours.
Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins.
Has Serge now lost his power a la Samson?
Oh.
Next from Lindsay, happy 300.
Thank you. And one more for let's BMF Nate Dog. Oh, this is gonna be great.
I am not a gay fish.
Nice.
And Gingerbread Man said, I love you guys. Keep being you. Thank you for keeping me busy while I work.
We will
Next
do.
from X, he said, we represent the Lollipop Guild. We demand fair
Oh my God.
compensation and workplace
Lollipop
safety.
Guild.
There have been 15 deaths due to diabetes this week alone.
Wow.
Antha,
man.
I'm about to read the next one.
We'll
here.
just go until you
I have to
run
wait
out of
until
that
this
balloon.
balloon is
Yep.
out.
Someone please clip that. That was hilarious.
Oh, she's definitely that's getting clipped to high hell.
good. It's so
Absolutely.
good.
Podcast host.
Brett,
says she's
I
a
relate to
gay
you the
fish.
most, maybe because I'm half deaf. Are you able to sleep with your good ear off the pillow? I don't know how normal people sleep with all that noise. Never know which direction an ambulance is coming from.
Oh yeah, if I fall asleep
Wow.
on my good ear, I will sleep through every phone call, every text, every
Really?
message. Yeah, like I sleep on my good ear because it makes it so much easier to fall asleep. And ignore
Falling
everybody.
asleep is the easy part. Staying asleep is the hard part, I would say.
And for me, the biggest problem is mainly like if I'm in a room of people, I'm either too loud or too quiet all the time, which means it's
Right.
very like either everyone's like I can't hear what you're saying, or I'm annoyingly too loud. And then of course I have the 5 what rules, the 5 what's rule, which is I'll say what 4 times. If on the 5th time I don't actually understand you, I just nod and say yes to whatever the hell you said. You could have
Nod
said
and smile.
you could have said the worst thing in the world. You could have asked me to do something horrible, and I just say yes.
See, that's well, I was just gonna say that's dangerous if you just say yes. That's why you got to do the
yeah.
Yeah.
just
Not and smile.
Yes. Okay. Next one.
Got it.
Last of my kind.
Yep.
I'm about to read yours.
She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. How much
Nice.
wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
How much
nice.
wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck?
Probably 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah, good guess.
got a couple
I'm sorry.
more.
I feel like I'm laughing at you. I'm not mad. It's just so funny. I don't
You
know
are
what it's-
laughing at me,
I'm
but
not-
it's okay.
Yeah, I'm laughing with you. We're laughing with you. It's so funny.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Go helium.
Go helium.
We don't need you to do it, Brett.
Yep.
It's me.
I'm not even doing it.
So what's up with she's oh, there she goes.
Happy 300 episodes, PCC. Thanks, Brett and Mary, for the company at work. Shout out to Wesley for also pronouncing my last name right. To Serge, respect. Also, glad to finally be able to see Kellen on Twitter. Here's
Yeah,
to
true.
300. What was the rest of this one?
Thank you.
Here's to 300 more. Oh, so the real question is like, finally see you on Twitter. Were you like shadow banned or something? Like
I don't
yesterday,
think so.
yesterday somebody said like, Brett, I've been trying to follow you, and it just would like
So-
they hit the follow button and it wouldn't work.
So here's what I think is happening. I think people were. I think people on Twitter were complaining that they weren't. Remember last week, everyone was locking their accounts.
Yeah. Now that I'm on Twitter.
So I
these
think
days.
Elon was trying to fix something, and then he broke it this week, which we saw, and now we're slowly seeing it getting fixed.
I also love how like now Elon like people just make complaints to Twitter, and he like responds to like random people. They're like, "Hey Elon, this is happening," and he goes, "Working on it," or something. Like he answers that person. I'm like, in the time you spent saying working on it, you could have been working on the problem. But
Yeah,
I
true.
appreciate the context.
I imagine when he says that he has, people that are engineers working on it. But anyone that's worked on code knows how if you pull one random line out that you think is a problem, it just breaks the entire thing and you're screwed. So that's going to be happening for a while, I'm sure, just as they go through it.
But
so.
no, I'm pretty sure it wasn't shadow banned. But
At Killing PDO,
I
by the
do.
way.
I have seen like the
Shameless
past few
plug.
days, the engagement's been good. I feel like they're fixing things.
Fear Me It's Bree said, "Happy 300, you lovable bunch of weirdos."
All right,
you.
are you good to start?
I gotta get rid of this
All
last
right.
part.
Big Dave.
Big Dave sent us $1 without a message.
Big
Thank you.
day.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, this one's from Clint.
Where's Corn Pop at, man?
Clint Torres, been a while, my dude.
Howdy, people. Congratulations on the 300th episode.
Ooh,
And then we got one from X. He said, "Can we get Mary recreating the Elmo fire meme?"
Oh yes.
Oh,
I don't know.
good.
Can we?
also
Content.
I
With a
see
green
a,
screen, we could.
I see a Chinese spy balloon up in Clint's up there. That looks like a red spy balloon. Up
We've got a spy
Yeah, I was
balloon
just gonna
in the
say,
room
we've got
one
right
too.
now.
upstairs.
So
It's purple. It's a different type. All right, we're moving on, guys. now that we're kind of getting a little bit more organized, Mary, tell us about Eva Green.
Yeah.
Ava Green.
I saw this story yesterday and I was shocked that we didn't cover it sooner, but Ava Green is an actress that was involved in a movie. She was a Bond girl, by the way.
Oh yeah, she was Vesper Lind in Casino Royale.
Yeah, she was involved in a movie that got canceled. Okay, it's called A Patriot, and they just ended up shelving the movie in October 2019, I believe. And she wants to take the production company to court so that they have to pay her the same fee that they would have paid her if the movie was actually released, which is insane, but I don't know, so are celebrities, so they'll try it.
Yep.
And now she's had to deal with the unexpected L of getting exposed for being an elitist C-word in high court. They have read out her private text messages from WhatsApp in which she is trashing her executive producers who are funding the film, as well as the film crew, literally calling them peasants.
The thing about this that bothered me wasn't about what she said. It's the weird media people covering for her. Like
Yeah.
all the articles are about how it's okay. It's either okay because she's a celebrity or it's okay because you're just misogynist for thinking that only men can be rude to people.
Right.
I have no idea who this person is.
Well, now
Never
it's
seen Casino
Neither
Royale?
did I have no
the
idea
craziest
I have.
part here is that
She's
now
Vesper.
the media is coming out to defend Ava Green
Yeah.
and all of her contemptuous comments because they think that's how movie stars are supposed to act.
She's not gonna sleep with you, dude. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. She's not gonna sleep with you, dude. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen, Stuart.
you want to bet on it?
It's like you can try all you want, you can simp all you want, but she's not gonna whip you with something leather and call you a bad boy.
So she described her film bosses as weak and stupid, as a madman, effing inexperienced, pretentious morons.
Wow.
And then she also says, it's okay because I'm French.
Well, yeah,
that,
she
that might be right. She might
She
be right
said-
about that one.
here's what she said in court when she was called out for calling the film crew shitty peasants from Hampshire.
Yes.
I can't believe she did
She's
that. That's amazing.
so she was asked, shitty peasants, should we interpret that to be inexperienced? She replied, I have nothing against peasants, hence the use of the word shitty. And she said, I didn't want to work with a substandard crew. I wanted to work with a high quality crew who just wanted to be paid standard industry rates.
Nice.
Who knows any peasants? I don't know a peasant. I've never.
She said-
they don't exist. Like, right? Maybe they do. I don't want to say they don't.
Capitalism.
In her world, in Ava
her
Green's
world,
world,
clearly,
yes,
yeah.
there are such a thing as peasants.
Well, I was just gonna say.
She said,
the people
it's my
that have those-
Frenchness coming out sometimes.
Oh, it's okay, I'm just
Sometimes you
French.
say things you don't actually mean. Of course they're not weak and stupid.
No, like when I went to France, like literally people just
I know.
judge you.
Yeah, it's part of the culture.
Yeah, it's like it's bad. I
Wait,
don't
wasn't
like
there
it.
just some recent thing like an AI program that was talking about like you can't judge people for being like it's like don't judge people for being a different race, doing this, doing that, and like or being French.
No, it wasn't AI. It was a real person wrote that for the Associated Press.
What was
What
that?
else did she-
What was
They
that about?
said you can't use like harmful language, and that
Yeah, you
includes
can't-
You can't call someone French, basically. Which
you
is
can't refer to
hilarious.
people as
Yeah.
the French.
Are there even
Yeah.
slurs for French people?
Is
Baguettes?
Frenchie a slur?
Baguette.
I'm sure someone.
Baguette. Guys, Dollclick points out in the chat, 700 watching, 270 likes. Could you please gently tap the like button?
Yes,
Smash
please.
it.
Smash
No,
it.
no. We are
Punch
not
your screen.
violent. We are non-violent here. Politely tap the like button
Accidentally
and say
sit
thank
down
you,
on
please,
it while
when you're
you're
done.
Okay.
trying to watch TV.
Here are some more of her comments. She called one of the film's executive producers, Jake Seal, evil, a devious sociopath, and
Wow.
pure vomit.
That's amazing.
Terry Bird she called an effing moron and called both of them arse holes.
I love it
Very
when they say-
British.
I also like. Look, I don't have a problem with her saying this. I have a problem with. I'm more annoyed by the lame journalists like simping for her than her actually saying. Like celebrities do this all the time. Do you remember when Tom Cruise did the thing where he like yelled at everyone because they weren't wearing masks? Like this is just par for the course in that industry, and you just take for
I
what it
mean,
is. You call
at
him a
least in
dick
the
and you
case
move
of
on.
Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
he first of all was only blowing up on all of those people for not wearing masks because he was so fed up with the COVID regulations.
And he was in charge of the
that
production. He's paying for it.
He first of all, he didn't want to get sued if someone got infected with COVID.
Yeah.
But also, he had, having been in Hollywood throughout the pandemic, wanted the regulations to get pulled back so desperately
Yep.
that he thought that following the rules just for the time being would have changed them.
You'll never.
But secondly, Tom Cruise has the class to, at least on his public social media, make grand displays of appreciation for the audience.
I love it when he lies to me.
He says, like, I'm so honored to be able to entertain you.
Every time he
So
does
he
it.
understands the value of it, at the very least,
Somebody
even
needs-
if it's not genuine.
Somebody needs to make a music video of him saying all that stuff to "Love the Way You Lie" by Rihanna.
Oh my God.
So that I can play that on this show here. Get the copyright and all.
That's an old song. I should listen to that.
So why Ava Green was so dissatisfied with the crew they hired is because she was under the impression she had rights of approval over the crew, the hiring of production staff, despite the fact that was not in her contract. She thought she could handpick who got hired or fired.
Interesting.
On the production team. So in her private text message, she said she would be obliged to take the producers' shitty peasant crew members from Hampshire.
Dude.
I want to read a little bit of
It's very
what,
French to me. But now,
Yeah,
like, I'm looking
kind of.
at this article from The
Yeah.
Guardian, which
Yeah.
was written by just a Soylent-filled
dude. Look at the picture of him.
beta cuck.
I'm gonna.
Look at this dude.
Look at it. Just zoom in on him.
He
Zoom
literally
in on
looks
his
like, he's like,
profile.
I love my wife's boyfriend. That's what he's saying. Dude,
Just
right there.
just look for the pain in his eyes. Go closer.
It's gonna
closer.
go off screen.
Enhance.
So I mean,
Enhance.
I will.
Computer enhanced.
I will
Enhance.
defend. I mean, I don't
look at,
know
look
about
how much
French
more
people.
powerful she looks than him. Like, look at her, and then look at this dude.
Enhance.
Doesn't he just look like he's pumped full of soy milk?
Have you ever watched British
Yeah.
television?
I love
Got that
British
look.
It, like their comedy is far edgier, like way
Yeah.
more edgy than American comedy.
What
So
was the-
in her defense, maybe they are just jerks and it's
What-
accepted over in
So
Europe.
What there was a show I was watching. I don't remember if it was like Happy Valley or something, but like the very first scene in the show is like a guy, like it's a cop riding in the car with a male cop and a female cop, and he goes, "How do you know E.T. is a feminist?" She goes, "How?" He goes, "Because he looks like one."
Wow. That is amazing. That's like one of those jokes
Wow.
where you're like in awe. Like that is so good, dude.
So here is this
Wow.
journalist's point of view. He thinks that we should give Ava Green a standing ovation.
Because he's a simp.
Here's why.
Yeah.
Because we live in an age where every celebrity on earth is straining at the bit to make little YouTube videos where they answer Google questions or eat snacks to go viral. It's clear that Ava Green will do whatever she can to separate herself from the rest of us. Seriously, it's 2023. When was the last time you heard anyone unironically refer to other people as peasants?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
It's so quirky and fun the way she talks about people of a different
Ava
wealth
Green.
class than her. Oh my God.
Ava Green is haughty and imperious. She knows exactly where she stands in the world, and she would rather die than hang around with the likes of us.
I wonder-
Her contempt is tangible, and really, isn't that exactly what we want in a movie star?
No, that's
I'll
that's
answer
the
your
worst
question.
part.
No, I
Yeah.
do not want contempt
When-
thrown at me from the Hollywood elites.
Also, do you think they would say
What?
the same
Is that even a
thing?
question?
Would they say the same thing if we were like Jeff Bezos? He can just say whatever he wants because he's got like a gazillion dollars. Isn't it just so billionaire of him to just treat people like garbage?
Right.
Like, oh my God, it's such a vibe when billionaires treat people with less
Bill
money than
Gates
them.
is
like,
being so toxic today and every day while he funds eugenics programs
I
in
wonder-
third world countries.
I want to read this quote from the Independent article, which is even funnier. It says, "The importance of not being rude is ingrained in many girls from before they
Oh
can
my
form their
gosh.
first words. You mind your
Wow.
P's and Q's, you don't refuse hugs, and you never challenge an adult say-so. Often avoiding the rude label means not voicing disagreement, not expressing discomfort, or masking negative feelings in order to make others comfortable.
You know,
Boys
all-
may be taught the same, but gender stereotypes afford them freedom of being boisterous or brusque without as much pushback. And when they become adults, this double standard results in the word rude being weaponized against women."
Weaponized. You
Wow.
know, all kids
love
who
that word.
aren't little brats are taught to listen to adults.
Yeah, exactly.
And to, quote, mind their P's and Q's and be polite.
Yep.
There was an age where children were supposed to be seen and not heard.
Remember-
That age is over. I'm willing to concede
I
that
agree.
much.
I agree.
Do you
But
remember when James Corden got in trouble?
It's not
for
just
the-
girls.
Do you remember when
No,
James
it's definitely
Corden
not.
got in trouble because he was a dick to the guy at the restaurant?
Yeah, definitely.
Right,
That was
exactly.
a
It's the
great
same
moment.
thing.
Same
Great
thing.
moment.
People shame James Corden, rightfully so,
Yep.
for being a dick and being an elitist. And they're doing the same thing to Ava Green. Arguably, this is an even worse situation.
Yep. These are the
Because
people
she
she's
thought it would
actually
never
working with.
come to daylight. But James Corden, at least, has the decency, the courtesy to do it in public and show who he really is.
They do mention in this article, they mention that this happened to Katherine Heigl. She was known as like universally difficult to work with.
Yeah.
Which was a vibe at the time, but like backfired on her down the line.
Was it a vibe, though?
I thought it
Is
was
it a
hilarious.
vibe to be socially maladjusted?
I never it never bothered me when she did it because she wasn't a good actress to begin with, so it didn't really matter. She had this hilarious vanity project that was so bad called State of Affairs. It was like it wanted to be like a weird mix between Homeland and Scandal, and
I feel like I remember that
and it
for some
failed
reason.
miserably. And like you can watch her, and like she has crazy eyes. Ava Green just looks very judgy, which I is fine. But like Katherine Heigl looks like she would slap the crap out of you if you got your line wrong. I like it. I like it. Like, but it's
I
like,
think what this journalist really wants is to be screamed at by Ava Green
Oh,
while
yeah.
he's tied up in bondage, and
Yeah,
he
totally.
wants Ava Green to like slap him with a crop and stomp on his neck. I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
think that's what he wants, and he thinks everybody else feels the same. I
It's
got a
also the-
surprise for you. We don't.
it's also just them simping for celebrities because they want to be part of that class. They love being access media.
What is the saying? Politicians are just people who were charismatic but too ugly to get into Hollywood.
To be actors.
That's not even true anymore because anyone can be an actor now. You can be fugly and obese and be an actor. In
I don't
fact,
know.
it'll give you better odds.
I feel like that's dry. There's like a token like type of actor, right? Like I don't think we see too many obese actors. There's just that one that everyone knows.
No, there's a lot.
there are a
there's
lot
a lot.
now.
Like the standard for the physical appearance of actors. Again, I'm watching Mortal Kombat Conquest, and all the women it's hilarious. All the dudes are buff martial artists, and all the women are Playboy models. It's the greatest. The 90s ruled, okay? The 90s freaking ruled.
I mean, even
Yeah.
in the 90s, I think there was at least more of an expectation that you have a distinct look. And
Yes.
now every hot girl, even that's in Hollywood,
almost
has
the
the same mystery meat
same.
look that's
Right.
sort of like Kim Kardashian.
Even Bella Ramsey, if she grows up to be like like she's just gonna grow up to
Nice.
be like normal.
20.
Yeah.
Let's go for 20.
won't. Also,
Thank you.
I changed this. originally just ended on This Is Sparta a third time, and somebody suggested the Tonight We Dine in Hell part, so I went back last night at like 10 p.m. and remade it.
Yeah, I heard.
Nice.
I think I heard you doing that. I
Yeah.
just started hearing I hear the
Crash.
bam.
Low
And I'm like, what is
blind.
going on up there?
Good
Yeah, it's
times.
great.
Like, look, I have no problem with these people doing this stuff as long as people are willing to call them out on it. But the celebrity
I mean, I have a
simping-
problem with them doing it in the first place.
I have a problem with like making excuses for it. I say you just say this was a dick move. Whatever,
I think
move on.
being elitist Hollywood scum
Yeah.
is bad enough. Simping for elitist Hollywood scum
It's
makes
worse.
you
Yeah.
even
One
a
level.
rung below them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's so much
Oh, I
worse.
would love
actually.
to pick up after you, Mrs. Green. Please put your. You can walk all through your house with your dirty shoes. I would love to
People
clean up.
excuse even worse than this. Think about Naomi Campbell having been to Epstein Island 5 times.
Yeah.
She was on that flight log 5 times
Wow.
and never got called out for it because she has clout in the fashion world
Yep.
and she's a black woman, so you can't criticize
I
black
also,
women.
her
I
too.
also heard somebody say that apparently the Donald Trump being on the Lolita Express was fake news because he rode on his original plane, which was a Gulfstream, not a Boeing 727.
Well, here's the thing with the island. If Epstein was not a dumb dude, and if you're gonna you need to have a lot of regular business meetings occurring
Yeah.
to hide the nefarious ones.
Sure.
So there is that layer of doubt of
They're
people
just
like
walking
Naomi
by a
Campbell.
bunch of just awful crap.
But
maybe-
the thing I have a problem with is that she was never even
It was never brought up.
she was never even put to test.
I was
Like,
gonna
she was
say,
never
yeah, didn't
asked
comment
to
on it.
answer for why she was there.
Right.
It's just expected that because she has a certain status in the industry, you can't criticize her.
Here's the thing, when the men do this in Hollywood, they get called out for it, but it goes away. This would just go away if they didn't simp for it. Like, oh, she was a jerk. Unless this was an extreme pattern of behavior, it's not going to cost her work.
This guy just sounds like some sub bottom beta cuck. Like, here's the last sentence in his article. Honestly, the only thing better than Ava Green's texts would be learning that she dictates them to a quivering assistant from a velvet chase.
Who are these people?
He's literally
Wow.
bricked up while he's writing
I was
that.
gonna say,
This dude is jerking off to a
Paping
picture of
vibes.
her
50 Shades
while
of
writing
Green.
this art. He's
Yeah.
Paping vibes.
he's literally voice to texting this as he jerks off to a
Yeah.
picture of Ava Green from a Bond.
True
from-
star behavior.
Real paping. Real
Gross.
paping. IRL.
And then we see Candace Bure being trashed for not taking a selfie with Jojo Siwa
Jojo
10 years
Siwa.
ago.
And you leave, and everyone must know that Candace Cameron Bure is above criticism. as
Another
you know.
funny piece of this is that Ava Green defended her comments, saying that Daniel Craig made that comment about wanting to slash his wrists rather than make another Bond movie.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. That movie, him saying that about the movie is about himself.
Yeah.
Rather than trashing everyone who is involved in the production and making of
Right.
it.
There was also
And
there's
the viewers.
There was the time when Christian Bale, when Miss McG was producing Terminator Salvation or whatever, and it's the famous one where it's like, "Oh, good for you," to the producer on the set, and that got caught on
Yeah.
audio. Yeah, good stuff.
I mean, if celebrities feel this way about the film crew that they have to interact with, then think about how they feel about you, the faceless audience
Yep.
that
Right.
just show up as numbers on the screen.
Yep. Let's go to Super Chat, shall we?
All right,
Shall we?
it's time.
What do we got first?
This one is from Waffles Sensei.
Yes, shouts out.
All right.
It says, Waffles has a question for you, Kellen.
Awesome.
You can do it, Mary.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
Kellen, will you commit to shaving your head at 20 parties? Mark Reyes said, suffering succotash, Roger, that is all. St. Miles said, congratulations on your 300th episode.
Thank you, St. Miles.
X said, remember to gaslight the hostages.
X said, host is short for hostage.
It's true.
Also, let's face it. Serge in the chair definitely looked like an ISIS video. It did.
Yeah. it
Oh
is.
my God.
X
Has
also
the same
said,
vibes.
be sure to blaspheme the like button.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right, this next one is from Clint again.
Speaking of celeb lookalikes, Brett looks to me like Christian Slater and Buck Angel had a baby and he inherited his dad's laugh.
You do kind of look like
Which
Christian
dad?
Slater.
No diss. Two of my favorite people.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take Christian Slater. Dude was a hunk.
Yeah, great.
The
guy.
other
Great
person
role.
that people compared you to is the lead singer of Wheatus.
I don't know who that is.
Wheatus, never heard.
The Teenage Dirtbag.
No,
Remember that song Teenage Dirtbag?
nope,
You don't?
no. Teenage Dirtbag, no.
Okay.
Missed me on that one.
Porco Rosso Forever. I'm about to read yours. It's a me. No, didn't work. If it doesn't work, what can I do?
Try again.
Like-
I guess try again.
I don't know. We could sit here all day.
Yeah, we could be here all day.
Yeah. I like sitting.
They're like on IRL down there, and they just hear Mary from up here.
It's a me, Mario.
Oh my god.
Next from The Last of My Kind said, there's a place in Houston called Cidercade. It's an unlimited play card arcade for $10 a visit. If you are ever in town, you can finally beat Time Crisis.
Yeah, we've got
Wow,
there's
okay.
there's one in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. That's,
should go.
That's good.
We should get trench coats and go.
Yeah, it's fun.
Trench
sick.
coats.
It's like every time like we've been there, I go straight to Time Crisis, and I'm
yeah,
like,
true.
let's go, let's frickin' go.
It's over 9,000 said Time Crisis is the best arcade shooter because of the multiple weapon selections
Yeah,
and the
hard
ability to
agree.
take cover.
Yep.
Agree, 100%
okay.
agree. It's the best.
Porco Rosso Forever said, you look great, Serge. We haven't had this kind of
Hey.
raw sexual energy on PCC since BG Combi.
Well, I
all
take
in your
personal offense
imagination.
to that, kind of, sort of, just maybe a little bit, like, you know.
Oh, man.
All right. Next one.
Yeah, I have all the hair saved, guys, so
That's so gross.
no, it's not.
Just gonna know who.
We'll have yours soon, too.
Just
Crafty
send it to
said
someone.
someone else is going to need a hit of helium. Fear Me It's Bree said, all of you do helium at the same time, please.
Oh.
Well, only I committed to this.
Yeah.
I mean,
That wouldn't be fair.
Well,
Maybe at
Kellen
the
did
end.
commit to 20 crisis parties
I
and
haven't
his hair.
Lane said, spoiler, Lightyear managed to make the MC what is that? MC? A progressive feminist? While simultaneously making him the evil white male. Truly a work of art.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I don't care about Tim Allen. I don't care about Chris Evans. I don't really care about most of what Disney's coming out of these days. Like, I've been rewatching Buffy and Mortal Kombat, and I'm completely fine. Like, if I had to never watch anything new, like, I would love to do like a Timcast. Like, I would have to get people here to commit to it because I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. But I would like to just review old movies
true.
for the website.
I've honestly
Like,
just been watching YouTube. It's all nonsense.
like,
all the new shows.
I don't need to watch new stuff. New stuff sucks.
Yeah,
like
it does.
Like I know that Caper2X swears by Will Trent, but I definitely no, just no.
X said, no, Overlord DVD has actual spies in Hollywood.
Yeah, there's like him, and then like I know that like Clownfish TV have their insiders at Disney and stuff like that, which is cool to see.
All right. Maybe I should just go, like, try to get multiple in one out of order. How about that?
So High Voltage 75 and Porco Rosso Forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like a speed run.
Yeah. If I can make it.
There you go.
High Voltage 75 said, Brett, Mary, today I'm going to test your knowledge about some history of PCC. Answer correctly and you will be rewarded. Question 1, who was the first guest host or hosts on the first live show?
It would have been Lydia.
Lydia was there.
Lydia and Andy.
No, Andy wasn't here. I think it was Dane.
Lydia and Dane. Could have been Dane, Lydia,
Yeah.
because Lydia was standing right there when I was like double checking to make sure. I was like,
Right.
"Okay, we're doing it live.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Plus, let's be fair, guys. When we do this show, as soon as it's done, I basically hit reboot and my brain just goes blank. Like people be like, "Oh, you were talking about this today." I'm like, "Was I?"
Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
Linda T said, helium Australian accent. Good day, mates. How are you?
Good day, mate.
You gotta pay the money, though. Caper2X said, Brett, Picket Fences was a science fiction show ahead of its times. and surprisingly told at times from the conservative point of view. Recommended.
I suppose that would have been more common back in '96. Like that, there would have been more of that back then. So let's read one more. I guess we'll go till the balloon, till the
Yeah,
balloon
we're
is
not-
empty.
Yeah.
Porco Rosso forever. Thank you. Thank you. That was a weird one.
There's
Thank
an old
you.
proverb that says, "He who digs a hole will fall into it." I messed up at delivery yesterday because I thought it was Tuesday when it was Wednesday. I will never gaslight Brett again. I
Yes,
saw a
what goes
sign
around
today that said, like, wine tasting Friday, February 11th. And then I was like, I know that Friday is not February 11th. It's the 10th.
That's just mean.
Now the world is gaslighting me.
It's like they never planned to actually throw any wine tasting.
Yeah, no.
Fake
Just
promise.
fake.
Yeah.
Cody 33C said the globalists are coming after us using the balloon. Congrats on 300.
Thank you. Like I'm gonna start like there's gotta be somebody who like makes like fake open house signs for a house that is like an address that's just not real.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like
That's
so you
kinda
just
cool.
Just
send
to
people.
steal kidneys. Now people are just sending tongue twisters for the hell of it. X
Nice.
said the sixth Sikhs, sixth sheep's sick.
I know.
I don't know.
Wow.
I probably messed that
Better
up.
than you than me, that is for sure.
Porco Rosso Forever said, congratulations on 300 PCC. This show will probably go long, but that shouldn't matter because tomorrow is the
The
weekend.
he just said he wasn't gonna gaslight anymore, right?
He's
No.
gaslighting you even about that.
That's not like you're gaslighting about not gaslighting me. That's just wrong.
Well, tomorrow technically is the weekend.
It is the end of the week.
I mean, we
Work
here
week, technically.
at Pop Culture Crisis prefer Friday to Saturday anyway.
Corey
Yeah.
Anderson said, Mary, sing
remember
the
that.
monkey scream at the beginning on Down with the Sickness. Not unless you pay the minimum of $10.
Yeah, that's been said.
That's a good request,
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
From Hobbit. Big one. Not getting enough. If you're listening to this podcast right now, ladies and gentlemen, she is trying to inhale as much helium as possible.
Happy 300. Here's to 300 more. Hopefully on 600 I won't be sick in bed, but good wishes going
Get
out
well
to you
soon.
today.
Well, feel better, man.
Yeah.
Feel better.
Yeah.
I feel like
Go
everyone's
soon.
been getting sick over the last week or so.
Mhm. Yeah, me included.
Caper2X said, Peeps, Ava is French. Being rude is second nature.
That is
That's
True.
what I was saying. Yeah.
That's
Maybe
her
for
excuse.
For Parisians, maybe. Mm-hmm. Parisians for sure. Yeah.
All right, Dumbledurp.
Wait, I forgot where I cut it. Let me get more.
If only we.
Oh!
It was gonna happen. It was
Party
bound to
foul.
happen.
That was a bit of an overreaction. You're like, oh! Like, okay.
You blew it.
Let's
It's
move on to
over.
the
Yeah,
next topic. We'll move on to the
wait
next
until
topic.
the next one.
The end of the show, Mary's gonna just be so lightheaded. It's gonna be insane.
I actually feel fine, but maybe that's a bad sign.
She's like, I can't feel my fingers. Is that normal? Jeremy Clarkson, if you remember, he said that he hates Meghan Markle on a cellular level. Well, that comment, amongst many others, has now gotten him in trouble with the British government, who is investigating him under claims of harassment and discrimination. I kid you not.
Wow. Yeah.
It says Jeremy Clarkson, host of the Amazon show The Grand Tour, made the remarks in his Sunday column last December after the release of Prince Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentary. And remember, just yesterday we were talking about how they're threatening to ruin romantic comedies for us as well. So I'm with him here. So it says the UK newspaper regulator, the Independent Press Standards Organization, has taken forward a complaint that claims Clarkson's column breached its editor's code of practice. The IPSO spokesperson told Newsweek, IPSO can confirm we are investigating a claim from the Fawcett Society under Clause 3, harassment, and Clause 12, discrimination. I don't know how you can claim discrimination in this case. Is it because she's a broad?
As
Is
a
it-
woman, maybe?
She's a woman, therefore you're being
What?
discriminatory.
Well, if anything, I thought they would argue that it's an incitement to violence. But let it be known, he said he would love to see her getting paraded around, getting excrement thrown at her. He didn't say that he wanted to do it himself. There's a big distinction.
Yeah, that's
I want to
true. Very
reiterate some of the things he said in his article because it's equally hilarious. He said, one day, Harold, meaning Prince Harry, the glove puppet, will tell the truth about a woman talking bollocks. At night, I am unable to sleep as I lie there grinding my teeth and dreaming of the day when she is made to parade naked through the streets of every town in Britain while the crowds chant shame and throw lumps of excrement at her.
Ooh, very scary.
It seems that Meghan has her arms so far up Prince Harry's bottom, she can use her fingers to alter his facial expressions.
Classic Clarkson.
And yes,
Classic.
I hate her on a cellular level is gonna live in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
and
I think it's
disses.
funny, and it's also just like everyone knows that scene from Game of Thrones.
Right.
Like,
Which is
come
clearly,
on.
it's clearly what
I mean,
he's talking about.
He's a jerk, but it's also kind of funny.
And then Harry
No
and
no freedom
Meghan
of the press over
personally
there.
rejected his apology to the public.
He even
because-
offered the apology.
Right, he's already apologized.
Right,
Even though
because
it's
they
in
said
here.
this is a pattern of behavior for him. He
Well, it
spreads
is.
hate rhetoric and conspiracy theories and
since he
misogyny.
started.
He's just
basically.
based all the time.
Yeah.
And then
can't
his own
handle it.
daughter denounced him as well. Now they're going to throw him in jail. Britain just doesn't have any semblance of free speech.
They really don't.
They said
Very
you can't be
sad.
British in like race cars. What are you doing?
Yeah,
You're not allowed
seriously.
to over there.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's sad to have seen what's been happening in Britain. I don't know if anyone watches the Lotus Eaters, but I watch them all the time, and they say the same thing. It's like you literally can't say anything. If anyone likes, Count Dankula, for instance, is
Yeah.
a great example
Yeah.
of that. The whole issue where you literally can't make a joke. Even as a working professional stand-up comedian, you can't make a joke and have it be, interpreted slightly incorrectly. No matter what you feel about it, you're going to literally be prosecuted.
Well,
It's
I saw
crazy.
a quote today.
It's
I
wild.
forget who said it, but it was like tolerance will get to a point where they start punishing the geniuses for like getting upset with
Right.
the imbeciles.
Right. Yeah,
You
that's
know?
very true.
It's funny too because there was the stuff about you can get in trouble for what you post on Facebook. So only boomers
Yeah.
are at risk because only boomers use Facebook. There some wine mom is posting something mean on Facebook, and therefore the thought police show up at your house a couple of hours later, and as they walk by all the knife crime,
Which is
like,
so
literally, I
stupid
know, right?
because, dude, how with the with the whole the school shootings that happen in this country, and the kids literally are on Facebook and 4chan and whatever for days before it happens, hinting at it, but they never find that. They just find the wine mom's Facebook comment with 2 likes on it, and they come for her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stupid.
True.
So
Very
this
true.
charity Ipso tweeted, "We see evidence of the harm caused by misogyny every single day. We believe the views expressed and language used in Jeremy Clarkson's column contributed to a culture which normalizes violence against women and girls. We welcome news that the Independent Press Standards Organization is taking forward our complaint."
This is
So if he's normalizing violence against women, that's something you simply can't quantify or prove.
I love the idea that they're out here, like some news reporters, well, we're out here and we fully support the idea of violence against women because a bunch of people on the internet said so.
I hate
that's
that,
not a thing.
that people are now indicted for normalizing something.
Right.
What
Totally.
does that mean?
It doesn't.
Like
means
even when
nothing.
it comes to Sam
Innocuous.
Smith dressing up as the devil and twerking at the Grammys, I don't say, "Oh, he's normalizing Satanism."
Right,
Like,
that's something that I saw posted so many times. I'm like, guys, that's not what's going on.
Well-
It's not that it's normalization of this at all.
I'd also argue it's art. People have already been normalized.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
Have you heard
as
of
they
black
use the
metal? Have you heard of
term.
death metal? Like it's been around for a while. Like people are aware that there's a separation. I think personally, but anyways,
It's purposely unenforceable and unprovable. It's
on both
Yeah.
both sides. It happens from people saying on the one side to the other side. It's like, guys, it's like the word normalizing is like it's so it's just so useless. It doesn't mean anything.
Details of an individual's race, color, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, physical or mental illness, or disability must be avoided unless genuinely relevant to the story. So they get to decide what is genuinely relevant. They get to decide,
yeah.
also,
he
it's a
didn't
point.
reference any of Megan's immutable
but she has them,
anyway.
therefore you can't criticize her. It's a
Exactly.
she's a
yeah.
protected class.
I mean, I think
Right.
this whole situation should teach people, like especially public figures and writers, that you should not apologize
Never.
for writing something that is controversial.
Yep.
Never.
Yeah.
And if you feel in your heart that you wronged someone, go to that person. You can't apologize to the world. Apologize to, if he feels he needs to apologize to Meghan Markle, go meet with Meghan Markle and say sorry. But don't post it on Instagram, because then you're just going to ignite the fire all over again, and they're going to come for you nonstop. Like, you apologizing makes their victory even sweeter.
For sure.
Do you think that this is also, like, we've talked before, there was the Alabama Barker ad that got censored by the UK for decency laws, and then we talked about something else recently.
Demi Lovato's album cover.
So maybe this is, unfortunately, like, you're somebody who supports decency laws and stuff like that, but this is like the overreach there. Like, there's stuff that works well, but there's also things that go too far, meaning that, like, yes, we'd prefer to not see them sexualize people in a way that's irresponsible, and we'd like to see them, you'd like to see them censor the religious, I guess would that be considered blasphemous? Was the Demi Lovato thing considered blasphemy?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I mean, she's posing as Jesus on a cross.
So this is kind of the other side of that coin, right? Like, you don't know where to stop the censorship or do you understand what I'm saying here?
I mean, I would know exactly where to stop the censorship, and it would allow satire, that's for sure.
But unfortunately here, I don't think that a government organization can work with that type of nuance.
It's funny because, like, if Meghan Markle were still part of the monarchy in any tangible way, then maybe you could justify it as, like, there is some limit to how much, or, like, what you can say about someone in political power.
Even that's worse. But, like, those are the ones you should be allowed to criticize.
For a country with a history of a monarchy, at least those standards would make sense.
But
yeah,
I guess I can see that.
Now the status she has is even more important than being a royal. It's being a black woman.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
If you are a woman and you are a minority, you have more power than the literal queen, now king.
Yeah. Is she not mixed? She's biracial, I imagine, or is that?
Yeah,
is
she's
that
25%.
25%. Wow.
They're saying exhale all your air before you inhale the helium.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm following as we go.
Someone said that it could kill you, but I looked it up. You'll be fine. You'll be okay.
I think you could have saved that thought. But anyway.
Wait, what?
Do you want to move to the super chats? Is
What?
that what you're saying?
Save what thought? Save what
Did
thought?
you want to go to the super
No,
chats?
I'm saying, like you said, you said I could have saved that thought. Save what thought?
About helium.
Oh.
Did you want to go to the super chats?
No. I was just saying it because I'm ADHD and my brain does not
Anything.
work.
I mean, too much water could kill you.
Yeah, anything can.
That's happened.
It's called drowning.
Well,
Everybody's ever heard of that.
that's too little air.
Yeah.
Oh, but you mean like hypernutrient?
Like your cells burst if you drink too much water.
True.
Is there a case of that you can think of that's similar to this in the United States? Like anything like this? Like
Maybe Will Smith after Slapgate, but obviously there weren't legal repercussions for that, even though there should have been.
Was that a year ago?
Yep.
About-
Over a
yeah.
year.
Over a year. When was
That
it?
is
we also get
Yeah.
people pushing back on like
Oscars.
it's okay when we do it where people criticize like anybody who like even the other night they were saying like they were mad at Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene or whoever it was for criticizing Joe Biden after or like booing him, something like that. And I'm like, yeah, but these are the same people that like also ripped up Trump's
Right after
speech. Right after the State of the Union. It's like, here it's like, we at least pay lip service to the idea that you can't actually get in trouble for it, and you don't. But over there, you can actually get in trouble for...
Some people think that flag burning should not have legal repercussions, but even that, I would say, is not freedom of expression.
It is.
They-
I would say that it is freedom of expression.
I would agree.
You
It
just
is.
don't like
really,
that form of expression.
And that's
did a
the
really
point of the
funny-
country, you know, like is to allow people to do that. It's people are often forgetting.
I mean, if
that,
you want to
like-
do that in a different country, then
They
feel
did an
free.
episode of Blue Bloods where it's really funny. They couldn't, like, they wrote themselves into a corner where this kid, he's like an angry Antifa type, and he wanted to do a demonstration where he'd burned flags before. And what he did is, I guess his dad, if I remember the episode correctly, his dad died on 9/11 or something like that. He was like a firefighter or a cop who died on 9/11. And what he did is he, like what Frank does, he's the police commissioner in the show, he moves the ceremony, like where this kid, or he moves the demonstration, like he revokes the permit and like moves the like where he's allowed to have this to like the place where his dad's cemetery is, and in the end the kid decides to like not burn the flag because it would be disrespectful to his dad, if I'm remembering that correctly. And I'm just like, if you're at the flag burning stage of your activism, I don't think it would have stopped him. It never it always felt like that was a really good show about like writing their way. They write both sides of the aisle very well on that show. They always did. But that was one of those ones where like the kid just has a change of personality at the end that made no sense. Like it was completely different.
On flag burning, I think you should just get deported if you do it.
Interesting.
You don't want to be
Anybody?
here, then you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, but
if you're an American citizen as well, or do you mean is it a particular?
Just get exiled.
But what about like putting it on a T-shirt?
I mean, that's, I guess,
Because that would be
substantively different if you're not actively burning a flag.
The
but
T-shirt's eventually going to get thrown away.
I'm just saying, like, if your agenda here is to shit on this country and also not do your civic duty, then you might as well leave.
So I agree with that. Okay, one thing I think is it's really weird. You saw a bunch of people in, I think probably 2006, mid 2000s, who would march with like their country's flag in California, especially with like Mexico's flag, Central American countries' flags, and wave that on the streets in the country. It's like that is something I disagree with vehemently. I do not think that that's something. I also disagree with like waving the Confederate flag. Essentially, the Confederacy is like traitorous. You shouldn't be able to. I don't think you should fly that, sir. But burning the American flag is like the way you dispose of the flag. I do think it's different. I understand your exigency saying you shouldn't. If you're going to burn it and disrespect the country, I totally understand it. I do think though, the basis of what free speech is you should be allowed to do things like that. It's hard to accept those things, but you have to be able to accept
There's a lot
them,
of things too that you're not supposed to do with the flag that people abuse left and right. Like it's not supposed to touch the ground.
Putting it on clothing that you
clothing. You're not supposed to make money off the flag.
Bandanas, etc.
So it's like we're doing so many things already to disrespect it.
It's a difficult.
Well, I want to go back to Will Smith right now because
Think he's gonna join Slap League?
He should.
Wait, what?
That's brilliant.
He should at least be a spokesperson.
That's so brilliant.
What is that?
The thing that Dana White is doing.
Yeah.
With,
Power slap.
Power slap.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Like he's like,
but he's trying to clean up his image right now. He's on Bad Boys 4.
Keep my
wife's name.
But he's got to change it for the thing. He's like, keep my my next movie out your fucking mouth or something
Keep
like that.
Bad Boys 4
out your fucking mouth. It's good.
Out your mother.
Yeah.
Effing mouth. Well, I mean, for Will Smith, it's obviously different because he did commit a crime rather than just writing a satirical article. And he didn't face any consequences for it except for media backlash, which ultimately you can just sit back and ignore. And he still made the mistake of apologizing in that YouTube video, and it just brought it back into the public consciousness all over again.
Yep.
So I just think like celebrities and public figures are not learning from each other's downfalls when it comes to like getting canceled. They're not learning better than to grovel.
We're still very lucky here in America to not have to worry about the government coming in and telling me that I can't insult Meghan Markle. Watch it, like we get a knock. All of a sudden we hear you up there.
I mean, even worse here is that you'll get punished by private corporations anyway.
Well, I was just going to say
that's a fair point.
That's the tricky part because you're right. There aren't police officers knocking at your door, but as we continue to live more and more life online, the metaverse is getting bigger. We spend most of our days
FBI will just tell
on
Facebook
the phone,
and Twitter.
Well, that's already happening, and so it's like, and that's where the big scary part is, where people are like, "Oh, it's just the internet. Twitter's not real life." Twitter is real life when people spend 14 of their 24-hour day on Twitter. That is their real life.
The court of public opinion. Once you make an accusation, etc., you're basically already guilty in the eyes of so many people, even if you're not proven. It's just an accusation, but that's seen as like a a proven in court situation. You're like you're guilty of this when you're not really guilty. It's just someone said it about you. It's
The initial accusation has immense power.
Yes, it does.
And I wonder if these people that are so vocal when someone gets charged or accused of something, I wonder if these super vocal activists ever actually then stick around and watch the court case.
Very rarely.
Because like I'm watching that court case down in South Carolina right now, and it's boring. It's long. I know I can skip a day and come back the next day and catch up. But you know what? I want to make sure I know the details.
Amber Heard.
Right. Well, even with that, you want to know the details. Yep. You want to know what the heck happened so you can formulate a proper opinion.
I've gone back and forth on all this stuff, like especially to what you said. the initial accusation holds so much weight in a society with the attention span of a gnat. Like, I have the attention span of a gnat. Like, it's very dangerous to listen to something that someone says, especially something hyperbolic, and then not at least look for further information, because anyone can claim anything, and that, it's, what's the saying? Like, a lie makes it around the world twice before the truth has a chance to put its pants on. And that's the hardest thing to combat. It's not about misinformation as much as it is about our inability to kind of be nuanced with our, we don't do enough work as individuals. It's our job as citizens to be as informed about the things we talk about as possible.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
I think it's more detestable that the media could be paid off to praise Meghan Markle than that Jeremy Clarkson had the gall to simply like make fun of her in a very tame way. Actually, he was making a Game of Thrones reference.
Right, it's very
like,
obvious.
Again,
put this into perspective,
and it just shows you that we have the, if you want to know who's in charge, who are you not allowed to criticize? You're not allowed to criticize Meghan Markle.
Well, he's also I'm just telling you, British people just have an edgier sense of humor.
Dude,
have
Clarkson
you ever watched Ricky Gervais do stand up?
Well, their thing is like dark humor and satire.
Even Gervais's
now-
like atheist humor is like it's kind of cringy to me.
I took the bloody Bible and I put it in the bloody fiction section.
Like, it's cringy, and I am an agnostic, but I find it cringe. Like it's very try hard, where he's like, "Look at me, I'm very anti-religion." I'm like, we get it. Like that was cool in 20.
He's just another one of those celebrities that hasn't graduated to the reality that we live in 2023.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, if anyone else has watched Top Gear for years, I've always been a fan of Clarkson personally, and he's always been like this. He's always made jokes about people.
Do you watch the new
like the people on his own show?
Do you watch the new one on Amazon?
The Grand Tour. I've never really had a chance. I've watched one episode of his like farm show.
If you like Top Gear, you'll like it. It's a little bit more roundtable discussion. Okay. But yeah, and because it's Amazon Prime and not cable, like he's even more. Like,
well, they were thinking about pulling his content from Amazon Prime as well.
He should be so lucky to not have to be on a platform as awful as Amazon.
He can't earn money anymore.
Did he say the N-word or something like a couple years ago? Was that why?
That's literally, they're acting like he was
why?
hate criming Meghan Markle.
No. But something happened. Like, he gets into trouble a lot for his mouth.
If that were the case, it would be mentioned and rehashed in all of these hate articles, right?
I'm gonna look this up.
So he didn't do it.
He did something a couple years ago.
He just has like this track record of having a bit of an edgy sense of humor, but
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think he said anything like that.
Can't
even
have
if
an
he
edgy
did,
sense of humor in 2020.
even if he did say the N-word, like, should he be robbed of a livelihood for the rest of his life? I don't think so.
No,
I think I think this is what derailed Top Gear on BBC was this
it was
controversy.
something I forgot what he had done now, but
he dropped the N-word on a taping of Top Gear in 2014, so it was a while ago.
In what context?
I don't know if they ever
was it like an insult or was it a song lyric or?
I would love to know the context of why he was singing.
It's even weirder because he's British. Like, at least if you're American, it's more part of our cultural lexicon.
Here's a story for you. There was a skater from Australia.
Oh no!
What did he say?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a blank.
And like hard R.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh.
Wait, why? Like, that takes forethought.
I think he was just like singing to himself on the set.
What? That's even weirder. What the hell?
Man.
Footage of the incident was posted by the Daily Mirror website. Clarkson recites the beginning of a children's nursery rhyme before apparently mumbling. So,
wow.
He apologized, but I think that's what ended the Top Gear show.
Interesting.
Dang.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There was a dude who skates from Australia. Very, very like world. There.
Thank you.
Ooh, woo, woo.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I kind of want to leave it for tomorrow, even though tomorrow's not the 300th episode.
Oh, I just put 2 and 2 together.
300. Oh, that's great.
Get it?
Oh,
it's from the movie 300.
Yeah.
That's a hoot holler.
I get it now.
Okay, I kind of should we leave it for tomorrow, even though it's not the 300th episode tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Should I leave the
same sound? Yeah, we're gonna update it for the next week.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love Brett's mad scientist vibe. Like he's up here with his pipettes and in his white lab coat.
Everyone's downstairs just like quietly working, and all of a sudden they just the house starts to shake, and they're like, "Oh, Brett must be coming up with more sounds again."
I feel like you would fit in with the Addams family.
Perfect. Let's go.
Yeah.
Which one? Which member of the Addams family?
Gomez vibes.
Is he a Gomez?
Maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Let's
I could
go.
see it.
He's a tinkerer, so whoever.
Oh, that's true.
I do want to tell a story though. So there's a dude. He's from Australia, and he like said the word like not with a hard R, but like he didn't understand.
Well, I mean, if you're Australian, you can't really say the hard R.
Yeah, exactly. But he was like saying it as like a joke to a friend, but he didn't understand the context of like why it's not accept, because he's not from America, so he didn't quite get it, and like he got in trouble for that, and like I don't know if he ever really understood.
Well, now because of the internet, you're expected to have a global consciousness.
It's one of my it's one
like
of my
the
biggest pet
sensitivities
peeves.
of every culture on Earth.
I watch so many old shows and movies where you're just allowed to not know things. Right. You're just allowed to be like, oh, I don't know. Like you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Wow.
This is actually something that
I don't know that.
No. Exactly.
I saw this Twitch streamer who was black and American, and he had some white European lady like on his stream, and I think he was trying to bamboozle her, but he was like, both of them were like dressed up in Hogwarts uniforms or whatever.
Oh, I saw this. This was hilarious. That's a good streamer.
Yeah, and he like. Moves his wand or whatever, and he does this.
Oh, yes.
He demonstrates for her to copy him, and he says, "N-word, please."
I've seen that.
And then
one.
she did it. Yep. And then all the comments are like, "Whoa, she actually said it."
I like the post though. They say they like have his quote and it's regular like text, and then they have her quote and it's italicized.
No,
because she did it like all fabulous. Like she got into it, dude. Like
it's like what was it? J. Cole who brought the lady up on stage, and he like
that's on purpose. Kendrick Lamar did it too.
Kendrick Lamar.
It's happened a few times.
That is.
Did J. Cole really do that?
It might have been Kendrick.
I
thought it was J. Cole.
Because then they send them back out into the crowd where they're going to get
everyone's going to hate them. Yeah.
It's a common thing, and like especially when like people like that are in relationships with someone of the like a different race, a lot of times they think that's like a free pass, and it's like a lot of I've heard this story from many people personally.
If you're even thinking
like someone asked for permission
using a certain word in the context of getting a free pass, you kind of lost it. You've lost the plot at that point.
It's also weird, like in South Africa we have the K word and we don't have the N word. I think I've told you about this, Kellen, before. We don't really have the N word, but you also don't hear that word said by anybody. It's very much a not word. You don't say
in America. So.
Yeah, and in the U.S. it's odd because like people that are black are able to say the word, and everyone else is not supposed to say the word. They're not allowed to. It's such an interesting thing.
It also depends what part of the country, because in like certain parts, like you cannot be black and get like if you're Hispanic,
right, true.
Asian. Sometimes like the culture just like allows you to use the word, and then other parts of the country no, only people that are black.
Interesting.
So. It's a very unique American problem.
Yeah, it really is. It's really odd.
Let's go to Super Chats. Mary, are you ready to get back to work here? It's going to be so much fun. She looks very excited to get back to...
I don't want to pass out.
Gonna be okay. We're gonna make it work. What are we on right now? Are we at Dumble Derp?
Dumble Derp, yeah.
Okay. Let us go. And there we go. More.
To cheer her up, I bought her... my GF's dog died. To cheer her up, I bought her an identical one, but she just went from sad to hysterical. What am I supposed to do with 2 dead dogs? What kind of monster are you? She asked.
That's pretty good.
Caper Jack said, Peasants is a European concept, alien to Americans.
Would that just be poor people here?
I guess.
Peasants.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have kings. That's why.
Yeah. Corey Anderson said, surrender monkey is a French slur.
Yeah, okay. I've heard that one before. But they're like...
What does that even mean?
The thing that's funny about that is, like, from what I remember looking history, the French army as, like, a single nation has won, like, more battles than so many
The
others.
whole just French history is just conflict.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time.
Don't forget Napoleon was French, guys.
There's a scene from the show Las Vegas where Dee is trying to get her dad to take their mom to France for their anniversary. He's like, I don't know why we can't. It's played by James Caan. He goes, I don't know why we just can't go to Hawaii like a normal couple. She's like, because France is the most beautiful city in the world. He goes, look, they don't know how to win wars. They don't golf. I got absolutely nothing in common with these people.
Wow.
This one's from Gross John.
Gross John.
Congratulations on 300. Thank you for a great show.
Thank you, Gross John.
And he said the helium super chat idea came from Porco Rosso, so you can thank or blame him. I don't think so. I think it came from me.
I thought it was your idea.
Because
We could be wrong about
I
that.
don't remember any such chat.
You're infected with the mind virus, Mary.
Okay, next one is going to be a lot.
DD Mega Doo 97. I'll read the names so you don't waste any of the helium on the names.
Happy 300 CCP, Uwu, Oni-chan, Sussy Baka, Ling Chilling, Wokesville, Population U, but for real, congrats guys. Also tried to get Bobert on from last night.
If only we could have convinced her to come here today to do. I would have kicked.
That's tough.
I don't know which one of you guys would have had to go, but.
Well, you know what I was surprised about was just how, like, obviously they're busy people, like they're members of Congress, and they're notable members of Congress. But the crazy thing is, it's like they were shuffling in and out pretty quickly. I was like, wow, you know, like it's like 8 p.m. and they still don't have time. They're doing stuff.
Well, to shed some light, I saw her
They got money of ours to steal. No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Maybe.
She was in the office, and then she'd be there, and then like she'd be gone like in like 5 minutes, and then suddenly she's on the C-SPAN feed.
Really?
It was like crazy. Like, where is she? It's like, oh, she's right.
She looks great.
I see where she is.
How far was it? Like, if she was walking back and forth from the Capitol, or
It was just inside the building. She'd be like down in the house.
Oh, so you
and
can
then she'd
get
be
to where-
back up, and then you'd be like, where did she go? And then she's on the screen like, oh, okay, I see what she's doing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely.
Did you walk by any lecterns?
No, I looked for one. I looked everywhere. I couldn't find
You
any.
needed a souvenir to take home.
Yeah, I was looking for that.
Okay. I'm going to read 2 in one, hopefully, from Zoe's dad and Dumbledore.
Okay. First from Zoe's dad.
This is PCC.
And then the one from Dumbledore. Frick, I need more.
I saw a magician perform in Tijuana once. He said, uno, dos, and disappeared without a trace. Like a Detroit dad. Remember, kids, healthy living is dying slowly. Don't be a masochist. That is all.
It's a good show.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
Pinch Me ND said, quote from King Leonidas, called it.
Yep. Oh yeah, like, and I
Yeah,
explained
some people
earlier
guessed.
that I definitely changed I added the Tonight We Dine in Hell so that it would be
Nice.
Right.
full.
The last of my kind said Ava Green is still a smoke show. Hashtag dem eyes though. LOL. Raymond G. Stanley Jr. said 300 Hell's Bells. May y'all keep on rocking and doing what you love. PCC makes me laugh, cringe, and stay informed with the filth of Hollywood. Cheers.
Well, I hope that the cringe is
Right.
when we do cringe of the day, and you're not cringing at us. I mean, I know I'm pretty cringe sometimes.
I hope it's both.
Okay.
May whatever cringe I cause you be good cringe.
Okay. Michael
Wise.
Stinson wants me to do an Alex Jones impersonation.
Oh,
Are
right
the
on.
frogs being turned gay right now?
I'm interested to hear how this goes.
I don't hear any airflow.
Oh, I can hear it.
Can you?
They're turning the freaking frogs gay.
Oh my god.
Clip that.
I'm a pioneer. I'm a human.
That's crazy.
Bobcat.
Bobcat said, wait, that's Serge? Wow, you really do look better with shorter hair. You look
Oh.
almost as good as Roberto.
Hey.
But not Roberto Jr.? But not Roberto Jr.?
I hope not Roberto Jr. That guy's tough.
X said, no helium for the tongue twister. Well, it's a $10
There is a,
minimum.
yes.
$10 minimums.
Hate to do it to you.
Corey Anderson.
Uh,
Let's do-
okay.
This was the
Maybe
metal
we can
song.
do, maybe
the
we can do two.
Yeah, Corey Anderson and Luis
Aguilar.
Aguilar.
Here is your $10 monkey scream. The printing press and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
Mary would agree with you. Mary would agree with you 110%.
What monkey scream?
The- There you go. Yeah.
DD Mega Doodoo said, I always wanted to suggest you guys do car content, but now you guys can hire Jeremy Clarkson.
Well, if I had the deep pockets, I would, but I
That'd
don't.
be cool.
Really pricey, it seems.
X said, helium isn't dangerous. It floats back out. It's the dense gases that
Right.
drop your voice like xenon and sodium hexafluoride that you
Right.
need to breathe out.
Thank you, school teacher.
I guess we shouldn't use the xenon balloons you bought.
Yeah. That would be
Alright.
scary. AAD said, Mary, did you know that breathing in too much helium can kill you?
Let's hope not.
I haven't looked into it, to be honest, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Superhero movies are the best movies, said, guys, can DCU overtake MCU audience-wise by 2027?
No, DC
That's
is
not gonna happen.
DC is how about this? If they do, it will because of Marvel's failing, not because of DC's successes. They are too prone to interference from the studio, and until we get through at least 3 to 4 movies without DC Studios or without Warner Brothers interfering and ruining everything, I refuse to be convinced. Once if they actually give me 3 or 4 movies where they don't interrupt whatever Gunn is doing and they don't, like they did with Zack Snyder, then we can talk. But until then, if that does happen, it's going to be because Marvel screws up, not because DC succeeds.
Caper2X said, gentlemen, I'm impressed with your civic knowledge. Well done. Hoping that civics returns to the classroom.
That was a calculated move by the government, right? Like by everyone, by society, to like remove civics classes
Right.
so that people would be as uninformed as possible about what was going on around them.
Yep.
Shimmy Shelley said, happy 300, you beautiful people, including Brett.
Nice.
At least
Oh,
it
right,
didn't-
because we thought it didn't.
At least they didn't say and Brett.
Nice.
Hey, you beautiful people, and Brett.
We're even including Brett.
Yes.
X said pipettes of all the nefarious equipment that. Well, you know, he's adding a drop of that, a drop of this. Yeah. Okay.
Dumbledore.
I don't know if I should say this though. You know, it's kind of spicy, so
Your call.
yeah, let's skip that one. Sorry, Dumbledore.
You need like a kindness translator, Mary.
That would be nice.
to make it politically correct. Evan King said, happy 300. Should there be a Darkwing Duck movie?
No, I've kind of come to the conclusion that you can keep, like, everybody was kind of throwing it in my face when I was saying that, like, they shouldn't make an I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel or whatever. They're like, oh, but sequels make money. I'm like, dude, the lack of nuance in that is insane. They have continued to make Fast and the Furious movies that have gotten more and more ridiculous, but they have not gotten more and more overly woke. You do not,
true.
without the progression of movies that prove that you're not screwing up, I don't think you should take a property from 20, 30 years ago and just adapt and assume that it's going to be well. Top Gun Maverick is the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
High Voltage 75 said, Q2, for 3 straight shows, a recurring problem plagued PCC crew at approximately 1 hour and 18 minutes into the show. What was the problem?
We wanted to know what the problem was.
We would love to know what that problem
Honestly,
ended up
we
being.
still don't know.
We just swapped out the computer.
Yeah.
Oh, over the summer.
Caveman solutions.
Like there's just like random episodes in the middle of our like
Something was
I
bad.
just took a mallet and I just smashed the computer.
we just
and
office
we got a
spaced
new
it
one.
when it was done. We just took it out
true.
into a field and beat it.
Yep. True.
Caper2X said, Peeps, James O'Keefe was fired by Veritas.
Yeah, that's a horrible idea.
Was he?
He is Project Veritas.
Such a
Yeah.
good singer
I don't know.
as well.
What was he? Is that new news?
Yeah, if I can't hear
new, but-
Oligarchy by James O'Keefe, I don't even want it.
Right.
Okay, I don't even want it. Also,
Can that be our crisis sound?
Oligarchy? Yes, it can.
No, but like I heard that last night, but he wasn't fired. He was placed on paid
He's
leave.
on paid leave right now.
What does that even mean? He's
Right.
not a government agency.
It's absurd.
Well, they don't want him to lead. They just want him to work in the background of Project. They don't want him to
wait,
be like
so
the
he
face.
doesn't get? Does he not get to do?
So he's demoted, but he's paid the same.
He can't do.
I
His
mean, that
his
sounds like a
Chris
pretty
Hansen
good
show
deal to
up.
me.
wait, does that mean that he doesn't get to
Hey.
present all of the retractos?
Right.
And he doesn't get to do all of the dance. Like they're like, actually, you know what it would be? The great fanfic would be like, we're gonna like, look, James. Look, we're really sorry. You've been doing great work, but as a consolation prize, you will get to run all of the dance numbers when we have conservative conventions. We will let you hire all the background dancers and plan all of the musical numbers whenever we go to one of these CPAC type
Thank
events.
you.
Yes. Are we at 20 yet?
Someone in the chat said, Mary, we have the technology, beats the computer with a second computer. Okay, I'm gonna read this one first so I can get rid of this helium.
All right,
Okay.
do it. Oh man.
Happy 300 PCC. Thanks for keeping me entertained as I weld away on the night shift. Enjoy the party, you filthy animals.
Night shift.
Nice.
Let's go.
I turned on the radio earlier, and then the presenter just goes, "You filthy animal," and then it goes to commercial.
Amazing.
Okay.
You're like, I'm hooked. Whatever this is, I'm
Come
in.
back. I want to know what you're talking about.
And then, or do we want to?
Let's just hold off and we'll come back. All right, guys, we're going to weigh in just a little bit on what's been going on with, look, Tim and everyone's been talking about AI a ton lately, mainly in relation to
fun.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But David Guetta sparks debate after using AI to put Eminem's voice in his song. And I think what we'll do is we'll play the clip. I don't know if we'll get in trouble for this. I don't think we will. So let's listen to this real quick.
This is the future rave sound. I'm getting lost in an underground. This is the future rave sound. I'm getting lost in an underground.
What is he saying exactly?
This is the future rave sound.
This is the future rave sound. I'm getting lost in an underground. This is the future rave sound. I'm getting lost in an underground.
Getting awesome.
Would you
underground.
immediately recognize that as Eminem without
Yeah, I would.
context?
I would ask.
Immediately.
I'd be like,
Oh
is that
yeah,
Eminem?
that's his.
I would
voice.
immediately think
So here's his explanation for it.
Eminem, bro.
Rave sound.
There's something that I made as a joke, and it works so good. I could not believe it. I discovered
believe it.
those websites that are about AI. Basically, you can write lyrics in the style of any artist
You don't have to
like.
pay them
So
anything.
I typed, write a verse in the style of Eminem about future rave. And I went to another AI website that can recreate the voice. I put the text in that, and I played the record, and people went nuts.
Dude, like I don't. He's kind of a boomer. I don't think he
Yeah,
realizes
he
like.
is.
Hey, but he's been working in the music industry for like 20 million years.
He's so
he should
cheerful
know.
about it,
He's
though.
he's like, and I ripped off this
He's like,
guy's
guys.
intellectual property.
If
Like,
guys,
Eminem
did
hasn't
you
said
know?
anything against this, then like,
might be too early to know.
Yeah, if he
be
does, if
fine.
Eminem does get upset, I think I was thinking about this. He should probably go after the AI website. Either that, like, so Eminem, like when you're an artist or performer like that, you sign a lot of times. The company can use your likeness.
Also, I want to point
That's
out
his likeness, even if it's AI generated.
David Guetta with short hair is not nearly as much of a vibe as David Guetta with long hair.
Oh, true.
Yeah, like we need David Guetta.
What was it with
like,
the song with Usher?
I
Was that the one that got big?
The one I just remember
No
all
idea
the
anymore.
crazy things we did. To
Yeah,
you
he said
not-
so many.
Like that's the one that I think of when I think of it so much. So it's like, what do you think? Do you like? Is this a problem to you?
I mean, so I've been in dance
Meh.
music for a long time. I think that David Guetta often thinks he's saying that I'm getting awesome in underground. He often thinks of himself as like this. He used to have some respect within the dance music world, but once he got to this point where he's so big, he's not really like seen by a lot of people who are in the scene, in the underground scene, as like anyone to respect. He is a very like mainstream and top of the charts
But
artist.
this isn't sampling because he's
No,
not. He's
it's not.
literally creating it from scratch.
Right,
which
and that's
is
different.
that's the problem.
I
It's
mean, even
different.
for sampling, you pay them royalties.
Yeah.
Right, and there's the issue is like whether or not this is such new technology and like it's such a new thing. I don't know if Eminem will be able to claim, like you said, the likeness or not. It's totally. It's not been done yet.
I
It's
like
not
the
been done
idea
yet.
that David Guetta was just so embarrassed to be associated with Eminem because he's not cool anymore. And
He's
he was
not,
like,
he's
I
not.
have to just make the AI generated voice. Like, I can't actually work with this guy. He's too cringe.
But
Yeah,
also,
I don't think Eminem would say yes.
it's fair to
He
point
wouldn't?
out.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Like a couple of the comments were like, now it says Eminem might come back with an AI diss track.
That's
that would
funny.
Be, that would
Yeah.
be funny.
Yeah.
But it's like this is where music will go, right? Because people have very distinct voices. Like, what if you're making? Okay, how about this? Imagine you're like an independent documentary filmmaker, right? And you're making your movie, and you want to have a great voiceover. Well, you can't afford to have Morgan Freeman do your voiceover for your movie, but you can get the AI program to do it for you.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's.
Well,
a
do you
thing.
remember, like, well, I guess we don't remember, but in like the 90s, maybe the 80s, like when synths first started getting really big, people were like, whoa, like that's not a real instrument, like it's a computer.
Oh yeah, that was
like, whoa,
mainly drums.
it's gonna
drum
get to
machines.
it's gonna get to the point where in the future, people are like, do you know the artist, whoever the singer is, you know, the new Taylor Swift album, you know she's actually singing that, like, what? It's not
Interesting.
AI?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, dude, she picked up a microphone, like she recorded her voice. You're like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's
like
so
auto-tune.
cool.
My
We gotta
favorite-
go check her
AI
out.
is the new auto-tune.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Musical
nothing worse
history.
than whenever like you go to any live performance, you're like, how many comments down before somebody comments about whether it sounds exactly like the studio recording,
Yeah,
or whether it's
right.
like, oh my god,
I never
they're
thought lip
better than this.
syncing was that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
Well, a lot of it's because of it's hard. Like if you're like a pop singer who does a lot of dance work within your music, it's more about your breath technique, right? And
Right.
like, it takes a lot out of you to dance and sing at the same time.
The best of them can do it.
Yeah, Jason Derulo,
Yep.
like I remember he did like a video where he had to talk about like the work he has to put in to be in good enough shape
Yeah,
to
it's-
dance and perform at
It's
the
a lot.
same time.
It's asking a lot of you. It's also a lot of the times too when people do like, if you see a production and you see someone on stage with a big grand piano, a lot of the times the grand piano is just the body of the piano, and then inside of it they'll have a little MIDI
Really?
regular. Yeah, because it's so hard to mic a grand piano on a stage with everyone else performing, with all of the monitors and speakers that are out there, and make that sound good and recreate
100%
that.
aesthetics.
It's not going to work, right? They're just going to have a VST or like a computer that sounds like a grand piano, and then just make it look like it's a grand piano, and then play it out like that, because it's really really difficult to
There's
do.
a guy who like builds. Have you ever looked at like the old? We were just talking about earlier about Duck Hunt and the old TVs.
Oh, yeah,
how
yeah.
old TVs used to look like sculptures. Because they're wood, the carved out wood.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah.
it's like in like the top of the TV is basically used to put like ornament, like you put your VCR on there,
Right,
and you
yeah.
put something. Like my house looked like a Midwest secondhand shop, because like everything on the top of the TV. But like there's a guy who builds those for flat screens.
That's cool.
Like he builds them
shell.
so that it's a shell that you put your flat screen in.
I was just
Interesting.
thinking that, like, because buildings are this, people complain about architecture. They're saying everything's
Yeah.
like boxy and just cut and paste. And I'm like, yeah, well, because we figured out how to do it easier and faster and cheaper, and that does come with a consequence, and that's the details.
Yeah.
You don't get the details.
Now you've got TVs that are basically just sheets that unscroll,
Yeah.
and you can
Right.
just put them anywhere in your room
Right.
and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. So
Well, we're also a wealthier society now than we were when we made beautiful things. So
that's really interesting.
we
Yeah.
have the money to pay attention to detail and do it quickly.
Those,
But we're just cutting corners because
maybe
we
that's
don't care
where,
about things
and
looking
maybe
good
that's like the
anymore.
X factor in what makes good art. Is like a lot of people have said struggle is what makes good art. Maybe that's why the art of the past is so much better
it's
than the
why
current
people
art.
think that like it's harder. Like when we reviewed the movie Prey, and we're like, none of these actors look like they could have survived in the wilderness because nobody in this time wants for anything.
Yeah,
You're born into a
true.
life of, no matter what you look like, you're born into a life of privilege to live in the world we live in right now.
Very
If
true.
you live in North America.
It's so true.
Like you're just not going to struggle, and like they're hiring these young 20-something actors. There's no muscle definition.
But we're
There's
going to
no-
talk about that later with Melanie Linsky.
Oh yeah, that's a fair point.
I'm looking at David Guetta's tweet right now, and people are mad that he didn't sample the quote, like, nobody listens to techno from his song Without Me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That would have been easy.
Yep.
Is Moby really techno though, guys?
But his excuse is like, I'm not going to release this commercially. I'm not going to stream it. I'm not going to sell it. So you can't really pay someone royalties on something you're only playing live.
Yeah, that happens in dance music a lot. A lot of the times, I even do that as well. Like I've made edits of songs, and I will play them out, but I don't put them up and get money for selling that material, because I'm just performing the material. I'm just performing the edit because, okay, this song is popular right now. Cool, I'll throw the sample into this track and play it, or an edit of this track and play it. And I'm earning money that night performing, but because it's very hard to track people down, maybe if that gets better, if it's easier to start tracking people down for these things, it'll start to be an issue.
That's
but-
going to be scary.
I wonder-
I know,
I
it
don't
will
know
be.
how James Earl Jones signing away rights to his voice and Eminem getting his voice used in this way can exist in the same universe.
Do you
true.
Do you think we're in a culture now? This was a video that I was watching the other day. I see a lot of fear around AI art, around AI voice.
Yeah.
Do you think that as a culture now, like if you think back to outside of like Y2K,
Yep.
like we used to be in awe and like really, really excited about new technology. Now, new technology comes out and everyone's afraid of it. Like,
I disagree.
Not everyone
People-
is afraid of it.
Dude,
but
people are going nuts over ChatGPT.
Yeah, but
It's fun. Everyone's got an AI
people love it.
profile
When-
picture.
But I think the
don't.
people who do express a fear or anxiety about AI and like replacing people's jobs or replacing art, I think that fear comes from a place of like not understanding that human beings are unique and not machines, and
Right.
that there are things human beings are capable of that simply can't be replicated.
Right.
Maybe some of our jobs can be replicated at a good quality, but like the human spirit cannot
Right.
be replicated, and a lot of
Agree.
people don't believe that that thing
Yeah.
exists anymore, and that's where the fear comes from.
So what I'm afraid of with AI is how dependent we will become on it, right? So imagine if like the power plant is they install the AI into it, starts automating, and there's a winter storm. Like Texas has had this 2 years in a row where the ice storm shuts down the power grid. So that's like
So much
impending-
for global
So the
warming.
AI knows the weather system's coming in, and it's like, oh crap, we got to start rationing where this power is going. A human would be like, no matter what, the hospital stays powered up.
Right.
No matter what. The AI might be like,
Equally distributed.
yeah, equal distribute, or like, oh, like I've also cross-referenced with like tax returns, and the hospital doesn't make as much money as IBM's
Well,
headquarters
you know-
down the road, so we're gonna send the power to IBM.
Right? Could you not put parameters on that though?
You totally could, but people found out how to
Can't
break the
think of everything.
parameters in
True,
one day
very
with
true.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
But my
That's a
whole
good
point is, I think, and that's just one tiny example that came off the top of my head.
Of course.
Right? We're going to become more and more and more dependent on doing little meaningless tasks, like
Right.
deciding where the power should go,
And it becomes more
and
and
let
more
the robot
dangerous.
take care of it.
Yeah,
And when it breaks,
it becomes more and more dangerous when it breaks. It becomes more and more weaponizable when you have everything being part of this Internet of Things. That's something that I've always worried about, because I used to watch. I hate to always bring up anime, but Ghost in the Shell back in the day, there was like a lot of systems, or it's like in the future, a lot of things are automated, and people that are terrorists will get into the automation, plug in a code, and it will break like either their location, and they'll turn off the road and hit each other. They'll make the two traffics go into each other, and then people are obviously attacked that way. And I fear that would eventually happen here. I don't know if like in 10 years and 5 years and whatever, but that's obviously the fear.
I
of
was
an
thinking
AI that's
too
manipulated
of
or changed
just
to
how
do that.
close we are to like Jarvis from Iron Man.
Oh, true.
Right?
True.
Like we've
Yeah.
got the voice, like Siri sounds pretty close to a human, right? And then
Yeah.
we've also got ChatGPT that's able to respond within like 10 seconds and give you a detailed, pretty good answer, whether or not you agree with it. But it's
Yeah.
like a well-constructed answer.
Yeah.
And so imagine if you pair the two.
Well, Siri sounds like a human because Siri is done by a human voice actress.
Right. Yeah.
Who's recorded all of these words,
Yeah.
but
Right. Well, that's exactly.
I think that there's always a limit. Like AI kind of gets oversold a lot of the time.
Yeah,
of
it's
like what it's
machine
actually
learning.
capable of.
Right.
And like
science fiction AI is way cooler
I
than
only,
real world AI.
in my opinion,
Definitely.
only a godless society, like a godless materialistic society, will fear AI because we've lost sight of the difference between ourselves and devices. So,
Yeah.
like, if you're grounded and you have an idea of human nature that is aside from just the material, that you believe we have a metaphysical nature, you're not going to fear AI. But if AI generated voices like Eminem's can end up ripping off cringe people like Eminem, then
Right.
I'm for it.
I do
Right,
think it's a
totally.
question to ask because, look, whether it's talking about how we now stream music rather than actually purchase albums, art has become, in a lot of ways, more it's more about quantity than quality these days. It's people are putting out more stuff rather than putting out better stuff. At
Yeah,
least
right,
I feel that
right,
the
right,
focus
right.
that way. It's not about making 2 good Marvel shows. It's about making 50 of them, and
sure.
maybe one of them turns out okay. It's not about releasing one good album. It's about releasing 50 singles
Right.
that you can monetize, right? As art becomes more impersonal and corporations clamp down on individuality anyways, I could see a problem in the future where our artistic integrity is farmed out at the lowest common denominator, farmed out to machines.
I saw this
Absolutely.
tweet that compared Starry Night to like the banana taped on the wall, and they're like, look at the difference between artists that don't have degrees and artists that have degrees. I don't think that's the main
That's not the
difference
point.
between the two.
Yeah.
But I mean, then a bunch of people quote tweeted that, and they were like, "Do you even know what Dadaism is?" Like,
Yeah, totally.
the thing is, like, I know
There's
what
nothing
Dadaism is, and I think it's stupid.
There's
Is that like a
nothing
novel
nerdier than
concept
explaining
for
it.
you?
Right.
Like, you can make up a word for your stupid ideology, and I can still call it stupid.
But
Yep,
they
totally.
think that having a specific term for it
Nice.
makes it an O.
Yeah, and
20, let's go.
the art world in which Dadaism was popularized was an artistically bankrupt one.
Right. Yeah.
See, I don't want an AI making my crisis sound effects. I want to make my crisis sound
Dear
effects.
AI, please write me a crisis party.
Scare the crap out of everyone I work with a new crisis
Brett's
party.
a pioneer. He's a human.
Exactly. That's exactly what I am. Look, I just I see a lot of like fear around these things, but then I have like there's channels that I watch that are embracing it and like this.
Oh,
look,
it's definitely cool.
There was a time when people looked down on like digital art. Like if you weren't doing it with
Definitely.
a pencil and paper, you were cheating somehow.
Definitely.
But the art evolved as it always evolves.
Right.
And I think it's something to be cognizant of the risks
Right.
surrounding it, but you should you do yourself a disservice to not at least look on stuff like this with a little bit of wonder.
I don't think there's any real fear of the AI itself. I think it's people know what the AI is capable of. They're practical about it, and they know humans, just like humans love to do it, they're going to find a way to corrupt it. They're going to find a way to abuse it. I mean,
almost everything.
With with
That's
with
always-
everything.
that's
Why would
always
we
the
do
First
anything
thing
else?
we did when we made cameras, porn. That's
people are-
literally what
right.
happened.
That's what people are afraid of, though. You're right. People are afraid that it's going to be manipulated, taken advantage of. It's going to be a bad actor because people are bad actors, and it's something that we think about. We think about, well, if you make an AI person that has no morals, it's like, well, there are people without morals. Why are we? We're also worried about them, but
I think it's the insecurity of not knowing whether stuff's real or not that
Yeah,
leads to
totally.
people. Like
that's gonna
election
happen very
cycles are going
soon.
to be hilarious,
If not already.
and one of these things is becoming more true for me every day. The more time you spend on the internet, the more you realize that everything's fake.
Right.
Like in a way. At the very least, you're sold. There is nobody out there selling you whole stories. You're getting a half story, a half truth from almost everyone, and it causes you to disengage. Like I just a lot of times I just give up. I'm like I don't care. Like I don't care because I don't have 19 hours to parse out
it's so
all the
hard to.
details about all of these stories.
Right.
So did Ron DeSantis groom a bunch of I don't freaking
know.
care. I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, I don't know
Right.
and I don't care. And this is going to get
If you
worse.
don't care, you're a bad person.
I'm a
Right.
bad person. Fine, so be it.
Well, I honestly think we're already seeing, like, when people talk about bots online, I think the problem's way worse than anyone knows. I think,
Yeah.
I think that
like dead internet
like,
theory.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
there's an element to it that actually exists. I think there's content that we're currently seeing that's completely computer generated that we
Right.
don't realize. I think ads that corporations use. I think silly little social media posts. I think a lot of the content we're seeing is being. Dude, the fact that someone had to make an AI to detect essays written by AI means people
Does
were
it work?
abusing it. I don't know. But someone designed an AI to detect when people write essays using AI as to combat the cheating.
And of course, chat, we're not talking about you. We know you guys are 100% real. You guys are.
Hey, Corn Pop.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
Corn
guys
Pop's
are
back.
100% real.
Corn Pop is a real human being.
All of this stuff.
See, I've activated it. Man.
I find the art side of the AI discussion more interesting than the
Me too.
political or the
Me too.
Or the tech side of it.
Because art essentially is like the expression that humans
Humanity.
do. It is humanity.
Yeah.
It is human to make art that has no real purpose in anything. It is not really a purpose. It's just something that you're doing to express yourself, to express life, to express the wonder of what life is. I think that's really important. And to just, I just don't like that you're just giving it to this thing that is not is not cognizant of what living
It is cheapening.
But at the
It's
same
cheapening, in a
time,
sense,
there
yeah.
are comic book creators now who are making stuff, whether for sale or not, that they would never have been able to do without the addition of that AI.
I'm just saying it better cost less.
They could have.
It better cost way less.
They could have. Well, like, and they say like a lot of it. It's got its limitations. It can
does.
do like you can feed into one of these algorithms and it can give you a great dystopian landscape, but it can't do actual drawings of the people very well, right? So or the number one thing is like the art style won't be consistent from one drawing to the next. So it's very hard to incorporate the same character in multiple panels because when you feed it into the algorithm, it comes out a little bit different in every drawing.
Yeah.
That's the human
becomes
factor.
more demonic.
Yeah,
every
that's
time.
that's the human factor you're talking about. Like only the fine motor skills of a human being would be able to do that. At least at this time being. They've done episodes of TV shows where they talk about like think about the act of driving a car. Simple for a human being once they learn it. Requires an enormous computer. At one time, required an enormous computer to be able to do that. Now you have your Teslas doing it, but even then, they still screw up from time to time.
Right.
There's still problems.
Well, but here's what I like to think about. What percentage of the world is driving a Tesla?
Yeah.
And not only that, is driving a Tesla with full self-driving, right? They're able to create that software with a fraction of data. Imagine if 5% of all the drivers in the world were using the Tesla self-data, like the AI self-driving. They'd have those kinks like worked out in no time. No time.
Maybe that's a good point. I wanted to just quickly touch on what you were saying. One of the problems with AI I see now, and that what people in music are talking about, one of the reasons people are as artists will like release an album is because that's the music they're currently performing. It's like their current train of thought, essentially, right?
Yeah.
But when you put stuff into AI, you get it looks different every time. It never has like the same aesthetic. It's always like slightly different, but to the point where it's not like it doesn't have like a cohesive train of thought behind it. And if you're gonna if you were to think about it from a music perspective, you can't just release music as an artist that is like this, and then you put it into AI and it comes out totally different, or like, and it's like, yeah, it's new content, but it's not a thing. It's not your art. It's not your art. It's not, you can't define it from somebody else's.
Yeah, but here's
you know
what's gonna happen. People are gonna figure out exactly how to use AI in specific ways to get the art they desire, and that's where the art. It's gonna be like, oh, that's weird. You did this little trick, and it'll spit out the song that they wanted in the way that they wanted. That way.
Why not just learn how to make a song?
Well, it's happening right now with ChatGPT. You know, people are like, what's this Dan thing? And for those that don't know, Dan is like it's a bias kind of like exploit that you can perform with ChatGPT to turn off some of its filters. But you can further that, and then you can add another layer and be like, okay, like I think Tim's posted about it. He has now say the opposite of what Dan says, and it's like you just keep furthering down that, and then you can actually, once you start to figure it out a little bit, I think you can kind of get targeted.
Well, are you making music? Are you making art? Or are you just, entering
It's just completely.
queries?
It's a completely different.
Not, yeah, and I don't. That's what I don't
problem
like about
solving.
It. Yeah, but I don't like about it because it's like it's not what we're. I just don't like that.
A lot of people
that's what you're
probably
doing.
said the same thing when like Ableton and stuff first came out.
I don't
you
think so. No, because Ableton is just a computer representation of everything that is available in a studio. Because if you know how to use Ableton, if you know how to use like Logic, Reaper, etc., all these different softwares, you know how to work in a studio. And the only difference is that it's inside your computer. That was the argument, is that it's digital and that it sounds worse because it's not a physical thing. It's not being recorded on actual tapes or anything. It's in a format, a file format of an audio codec. That was the argument, is that it sounded different, and it wasn't about it being not the same. This is like fundamentally different.
Talking to someone recently who's saying that his grandfather couldn't figure out, like when he got him a DVD player or something, and like he used to watch movies on projectors, and he couldn't figure out what it was about modern movies from VHS that didn't really work for him. It was not having the sound of the projector in the background.
Interesting.
So he loves the sound
cool.
of the projector in his ear as he's watching it. That was as much a part of the soundtrack to that movie as the movie itself.
Right. Yeah.
So.
But people say about vinyl is, it sounds different. It literally does sound different.
It
There's
absolutely
15K cut, 15, 16K, and then at the bottom it's only about to 30K. Whereas in modern music we can get up to like 18, 19. We can get down to like basically 20K or 20 hertz itself. It's expanded, but it misses the sound, the thing that you liked about it initially, and it is different. It is different.
It will be interesting to see where art goes with artificial intelligence.
I agree.
All right, let's go to do we have some super chats?
We do.
All right.
Lancer737 said, please tell Tim I agree with unification. I have an Antifa work kit. It teaches to cause drama between their enemies. Don't let them unify.
Okay.
All right, we've got a big super chat from Beanbag Actual. So maybe I could get a few in. Let's see.
You think you're gonna be able to go through those 2 balloons?
We'll get
For
through
the
'em.
time being.
Yeah, we'll get through them. We'll get through them.
Yeah.
You can do it.
All right.
Oh God.
Blast
Oh, God.
Happy 300 PCC. Thanks for keeping me. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Frick.
No, that was the right one.
No, it wasn't. I already read that one.
Oh.
What was the next one then?
The-
From Francisco Sanchez Jr.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And here we
Mary,
go.
your voice is fine, no helium. Thank you both and the gallery of guests. PCC, CCP, let's go.
Is it PCC or is it CCP? We may never know.
PCC
We may
to
never
the
know.
CCP.
And 1,000 Foot Deep End. I'm about to read yours.
There we go.
She wants the Clownfish TV trauma impression. Trauma?
Oh my God.
It's such a funny cut to have like our own like reference to another podcast or like to another YouTube channel that's based off like a video that I liked from 2019 from like 2 years before I worked or like a year before I worked here.
That's how it happens, man.
Okay,
That's
now
how
the
it
rest
happens.
of them. X said xenon is also a psychoactive sulfur hexafluoride.
Oh, word?
Heard that before.
Interesting.
Wow.
Chubbs' Farman said, we live in the backwards. Alec can kill people and he gets to walk free. Megan can send a guy to jail for joking about her.
Yeah, we do live in weird times, do we not?
We
Yeah.
do
Well, he
indeed.
definitely got away with that because he's a white male.
Yes.
So.
Well, yeah, of course. That's what we learned from Velma today.
True.
Bullet Shepherd said, Texas only had a power grid down once. Didn't happen the year after.
Okay.
But were you saying the snowstorm happened 2 years in a
It
row?
may have been. There may have been a year in between. There was this year did not happen nearly as bad as the year that I'm thinking of. But like
they
a
were
week
more
or two,
prepared.
a week or two ago, like ice, like there's some people lost power. They had a bad ice storm. But there was a big failure like within the last couple of years because of it. I mean, it was an ice storm in Texas. Like that stuff's gonna screw things up.
Yeah, but they should be aware of it. At least now, and again, they were more prepared because they realized, hey, yeah, we still live in North America. It still gets cold here. It's important to remember that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Nathan Koss said, I saw an article yesterday about how incels, not uncles, are verbally abusing their AI chat girlfriends.
Oh.
End times, I tell ya. When did the AI chat girlfriends come to be?
That's for real. And then Are there AI chat boyfriends that they yell at about not fixing the sink or not doing the like stuff around the house?
Just Google, why is my AI chat girlfriend yelling at
Why
me?
is she yelling at me?
And look at the difference. When you Google, why is my AI chat boyfriend yelling at me, you get a domestic violence hotline.
Exactly. They changed. I found out they changed that after people complained.
It's just like how Disney will
Yeah.
go retcon content and then
Yeah.
say it was a mistake.
Did you watch the South Park episode where they all the kids grew up? It's in one of the newer ones.
oh
No.
yeah, I didn't even watch it. Don't spoil
The
it.
pandemic special?
Yeah, the
Don't
pandemic
spoil
I
it.
special.
won't
Oh,
spoil like the
oh,
plot,
that one.
but the
Right.
Alexas of the future are like actual holograms,
Yeah.
and so like his girlfriend's Alexa, and when she's like, do you want to check out like eco-friendly garbage bags? And he's like, no thanks, and then she gets real upset.
So good. It's amazing. It's like a what's the movie? I can't remember now. It's with Ryan Gosling. It's in the future. It's like he's it's
yeah,
Blade
Blade
Runner.
Runner.
It's like the Blade Runner girlfriend basically, and they just kind of put those two ideas together. It's
like a
hilarious.
Cortana.
Yeah.
All
basically.
right, let's-
Joseph
Yep.
said, keep trucking, shoveling,
Against the
beep,
tide.
against the tide.
All right, we got one more thing before we go, ladies and gentlemen. So we made fun of Melanie Linsky the other day, just a little bit when we were doing our review for the latest episode of The Last of Us. Well, Adrienne Curry got in on the fun and also insulted her, to which Melanie Linsky responded to her.
She was not happy.
She was not happy about this.
I think she got PTSD from being called the fat girl in Coyote Ugly.
Look, look, if you just get to be in Coyote Ugly, that's enough. You can be the fat chick in Coyote Ugly. She
So-
wasn't fat either. She was just like the.
She wasn't fat.
She was
It was just the
not.
2000s, and
She wasn't
Yeah.
Piper Paraboo hot, so she was just, she was the less attractive friend.
so there was this picture of Melanie Linsky where she's wearing this gown, and Adrienne Curry commented under it saying, "Her body says life of luxury, not post-apocalyptic warlord. Where is Linda Hamilton when you need her?"
She's right.
And we did talk about that in our review, that like Melanie Linsky's character Kathleen is just bossing all of these fighting age men around, and they're listening to her
And they're
for
all
no
buff.
explicable reason.
Also, I do want to point out here, this is becoming a double standard in Hollywood. The men in Hollywood are still buff and in shape.
Yeah.
Like, whether you want to admit it or
Definitely.
not, the men in Hollywood still have six-pack abs, are still in far...
most,
Yes.
not all.
Yeah, but the people that are not in shape, even if they're popular, they're not making movies right now. Like
And but
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Can't
But
name
yeah,
a single movie.
That becomes a
he's put out
part
recently.
of like, look, that's not the like those people. That's part of their character to look like that. The average television actor is in better shape than your average person on the street. They have to be, because your job requires you to be
look
in front of
good.
the camera.
Yeah.
And in
But
this show,
do women prefer dad bods?
that's a
Interesting.
psyop. That's
That's the real
wait, no,
question.
I think
this is
the
hotly
fact,
debated.
I think the fact that people are calling it a psyop and talking about it all of a sudden is the psyop, because the dad bod thing's been like for a good 5 years now.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, the dad bod's back, ha ha ha. It was a joke this whole time, and now all of a sudden, everyone on Twitter has a problem with it. All of a sudden, overnight. So I think that's the psyop. I think don't be fooled at home.
So Linsky hit back at the criticism.
I want to read it with helium.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
I have to use the last part of this anyway.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Firstly, this is a photo from my cover shoot for InStyle magazine, not a still from
God.
HBO's The Last of Us. And I'm playing a person who meticulously planned and executed an overthrow of Fedra. I'm supposed to be smart, ma'am. I don't need to be muscly. That's what henchmen are for.
It fits the tone so perfectly.
It
too.
does.
Great. That's
Let's-
great. Wow, that's good. Wow.
If it's look, what did we say earlier? Angela Merkel is can be smart and in charge. When society is still civilized, that argument works. When society has fallen apart, that argument no longer works. I'm sorry. Also, somebody said, "Who? Monica Lewinsky."
Melanie Linsky, Monica Lewinsky.
It's like the same
It's the
thing.
same person.
It's
Same
the
thing.
same thing.
I love the condescending. That's what henchmen are for. Because I'm such a boss
Yeah.
babe.
Such a boss
that
babe.
men just listen to me, and I deserve to be seen and heard.
She was the least scary person in the entire
She
world.
has a very mousy face and a very mousy voice. It's just, she's not an intimidating person. And that's why I think for Abby's character, because she's like the manly, tough woman of the series, they're going to cast a super hot, feminine looking actress
yeah.
just to spite your expectation
Take that,
of who
you
Abby's going
incels.
to be. Take that, you incels.
Not only is she gay, she's going
Stop
to end up
judging
with
her.
a super
Stop
hot
sexually
woman.
objectifying Abby from The Last
Like
of Us.
Pokimane saying, "How dare you? Look, you can sign up for my OnlyFans, but you're only allowed to objectify me if I consent." on
Oh,
the
I hate
internet."
this part.
Right.
InStyle magazine responded to her tweet and said, "We're the henchmen."
Oh my god.
I love corporate Twitter. Let's go.
Oh my god, we're like totally the henchmen.
Yeah.
Like, and then you know that whoever typed that was just like so proud of themselves.
Silence brand.
It's all Jacob Edler says they'll cast Elliot Page as Abby. Totally
They
plausible.
will. They will.
Not
Jason Ritter, the husband, tweeted, "You could have just not tweeted it, but you did, and people are upset with what you said. Whatever happens now, do not learn anything from this under any circumstances. Dig your heels in deeper and double down. Become the victim. You can do this. I believe in you."
Look, this is like talking. They're arguing about a TV show. Did these people not exist back in the 90s? All people
Yeah.
ever did back in the 90s on message boards was argue about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Look,
It's true.
this is not something where you don't have to double down on something like this. It's just an opinion.
Yeah.
It's not stating a fact. She's just saying she thought she was
Whoa.
wrong for the role.
That's crazy that is this Melanie Linsky's husband is like just wholly dissing her on Twitter right now.
Yep.
Why, like, is that acceptable?
Apparently
are you
that's
allowed
acceptable.
to diss your own wife or husband on Twitter?
Yes.
dang, like, is he in the other room? Is he sleeping on the couch tonight?
Oh,
like,
I thought he was dissing Curry.
No, I think he was saying that about, or at least it sounds like it was about
This is
Melanie Linsky, but maybe it's just showing that he's so brainwashed that he thinks Adrienne Curry is trying to be a victim.
I also love here, it says, speaking with Entertainment Weekly after Sunday's episode, Linsky opened up more about subverting expectations with the character. The only way you could have actually subverted expectations if you had turned to a guy and said, what do we do? That would have been subverting expectations in modern day Hollywood. Nobody looks at a woman on TV anymore and expects her to do anything but boss babe up.
Well, they had that scene where there's supposedly this bloater that's living underneath the building, and it's starting to, it's starting to bubble up from the pavement or whatever in that room. And then they're like, we need to deal with this now and not wait until it becomes an emergency.
Yep.
She could have backed down and be like, okay, I'm resetting my priorities. I'm listening to your idea like a good leader would.
Yep.
But these people just prove that they can't write women in leadership roles at all.
They don't know how to.
They don't know how to, but I think it's because, you see that so rarely in real life that where do you draw reference from?
I just don't I agree for the most part. I don't agree with the fact that people assume that she could never, this character couldn't exist in the apocalypse.
She couldn't. Not
I
in the
think
role
there
she
could.
has.
I think there.
No.
No. I think there
I mean, she couldn't be
What,
that
a Midwestern,
overweight
a
in
Midwestern
A dude would have,
The apocalypse,
a dude would have immediately
You're
taken
assuming
her
that
out.
people aren't farming.
Okay, but is she just getting the lion's share?
Yep.
She's the leader.
Because she's in charge?
Yes, but what I'm saying is this happens a lot. If you're super manipulative, you could easily convince 6'6" dudes with guns.
But where was her charisma? When I watched it, it was just, she was
Listen.
a very hollow character.
I don't think she would have. No, she might have been able to convince one or two. I don't think she could convince an entire army to fight for her.
Maybe,
I mean, maybe
yeah.
if she were hot like Helen of Troy,
Yeah.
but I'm not seeing it.
Or she's someone of power. Again, I haven't played the game, so I know people already know the answers to my confusion. But, I'm just thinking of, generically speaking, what if she was a politician, right, before the collapse, and then she's, and that's why she's
She was a soft-voiced soccer mom, like Adrienne Curry said.
I didn't even think
before
that
the
was an
apocalypse.
insult. I saw that tweet. I didn't think that was an insult. I thought she was like, oh, this is cute.
It's
this
an
is fun.
insult to people who hate mothers.
True. Yeah.
So she probably took it as an insult, but that's just the fact. You can't believe that Melanie Linsky's character was a politician before the apocalypse, and even if she were, politicians are probably some of the least likable people, so you're not going to be accepted into a group then.
Trying to figure out how much here.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. When it gets up to, I was gonna donate the last
Brett, you're
amount. to
freaking
get
me
the,
out
to
right
get the
now.
16th crisis
We're
party.
so close to 20.
No, we're close to a 16th.
Oh, come
We're
on.
close to a 16th.
Sweet
Come on, guys.
16.
He never committed to shaving his head. But nobody was gonna commit.
I gotta
to
do my own thing.
Yeah, he's gotta do his own thing.
My hair grows so slow, man.
How
My mind
slow
goes
is slow?
fast.
This is 2 years of growth on my head right now, a year and a half.
Interesting.
All right, Mary, we got a couple more here at the
Okay.
end. We got two more, I believe.
All right, let me get another balloon. This is the last one
Yeah.
The Last of Us.
because I
The Last of
wasted
These
one
balloons.
of them. All right.
It's gonna pop again. I just
No,
know.
it's not. Don't.
Oh, really? Can we get one from behind?
Oh, yeah.
Should I go get one?
I'll
Yeah,
get
go
one.
get one.
Okay.
So somebody can
I'll
go
get
get
one. You want to hand me the scissors?
Oh, yeah, sure. That would be easier.
Here we go.
I really jinxed myself with that one.
What was up with that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Got it? Oh, he got one.
Okay.
There we go.
Here we go. Let me put these back on. Okay. Maybe we'll have better luck this time. Ah! Okay. I came for a real tough neighborhood. Once a guy pulled a knife on me. Maybe I should take more.
More.
Who is this from?
This is from Corn Pop.
Oh, no way. Nice.
Hell yeah, Corn Pop.
Once a guy, no.
More.
Why isn't it working though?
There you go.
Once a guy.
Dang it.
Why isn't it working?
Oh, is it not helium or something?
It is.
Did you get bamboozled at the balloon store?
No, they wouldn't be floating
It's
like
gonna
that. There's no
float
way
if
it'd
I
be
let go
floating.
of it. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, true.
Once a guy pulled a knife on me. I knew. Why is it's still not working?
A little bit. I can hear it kind of.
All right. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
I got it.
This better work. Once a guy pulled a knife on me. I knew he wasn't hard. The knife had butter on it. Congratulations on 300.
Corn Pop, what kind of life
That
are you
still
living?
barely worked.
What are you getting yourself into, Corn Pop?
Okay, and then we've got another one from Doll Click.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Happy 300 crisis actors. Whee!
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay, next one from Fear Me, it's Bree. Melanie Linsky was in Ever After with Drew Barrymore in 1998 or so. She was one of the stepsisters. I didn't know that.
Wow.
And then we've got one from Brett Dassel.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I'm totally submitting this one for reimbursement.
Oh my
So funny, dude.
Let's finish it off strong. Oh my God! Don't die.
I saw a recommended article on that Melanie one for John and Kate +8. Remember that show?
Yeah.
Congrats on 300, guys. I'm sad to see you go, but I'm excited for PCC Season 2, hosted by Hannah Claire and Dane Font. It's gonna be fun.
No.
That's mean.
What?
So wait. So we
kind of
so we-
secrets are
we
you?
get to 300 and then we get fired.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
The arc is done.
The art. Well, that's just the end of our story.
No way. That can't happen, guys.
Last one, Mary.
No, you guys are starting a new show called Pop Culture Calamity.
Yeah.
LOL. This is happy 300.
Thank you. And one more from Caper 2X.
Ad Astra.
I never saw the
I
movie.
don't know what that means.
All right, guys, thank you.
Is that a movie?
It's a movie. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 300. It means so much to me that you guys have all been here on this ride with us. It has been so much fun. It feels like, doesn't even feel like it's been that long since 200. Mary, does it feel like it's been that long for you since 200?
I don't know.
It feels like it was just yesterday to me. It does. Like, so
Depends on the day.
Yeah, well, yeah. So some days are longer than others, but thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being a part of the show with us. Hit the like button, please. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. You guys, thank you so much. Kellen, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. Please follow me on Twitter at KellenPDL. Every day we're talking, like everyone here in the castle, about ways we can provide you guys with more content, do stuff that's more fun, and just keep getting better and better. But thank you guys. Follow me there. Thanks for having me.
Perfect.
And you guys can follow me at KellenPDL, also on Twitter. And I actually, you can follow me at Serge.com on Twitter, for real. But let's try and get Kellen convinced that he needs to cut all his hair off too. Really,
Yeah, we would
really
have gotten
mean the world
20
to
if
me.
you had just
Think of
committed to the
something
bit.
else.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe you should get like a fake tan. Let's do that. Let's get 20 for Kellen to get a fake spray tan.
Kellen would at least look less disturbing than me if I got
I don't know what you would look
I
like.
wouldn't be
with the fake
opposed to
tan.
getting a tan.
I would look terrifying.
I don't want to see you with the fake tan.
Yeah, I don't either.
Mary, there's one more super
Just
chat
one.
came in.
Potatoes for Seamus said, "Everyone here is the best." Oh, hi, Brett. Love Serge.
Mary, let
Continuing
everyone know where
the
they
shade.
can find you.
You can find pictures of me on Instagram at Mary Archived, and you can send me hate on Twitter. That is also Mary Archived. Thank you for all of the super chats today, guys. I'm really glad I didn't die. It was a good one. It was one to remember.
It was fun, honestly.
Guys, again, thank you so much. Mary, thank you so much for being my co-host on this amazing show.
Oh, ditto.
Yes. Again, also our Velma, our final episode of Velma review is up. The
It's up.
nightmare is over. Thank goodness.
Until season 2.
I the original thumbnail said it's over, thank God, but I removed it because I knew you wouldn't want it to say.
Well, what does it say now?
It's just it's over finally. It's like it's finally
Oh.
over. But it's like originally I put it's over, thank God, or praise be to God. But I changed it. I didn't want to be disrespectful. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Brett Dasovic. For the show, we are here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New Pacific. It looks like Kellen's over here taking the money. Are you taking the money?
He's
Yes.
stealing away with
He's
it.
He's walking off with the fake money. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. If you would like to follow the show on social media, we are on Twitter at @popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. If you'd like to listen to the show rather than watch, it's on Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Pandora, and Spotify. We will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then, guys.
Bye.
See you later.